Hello friends, welcome to Universe of Naruto X. If you love Naruto what if stories and anime explanations, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now let's begin today's story. I do not own Dragon Ball Z or any of the characters. That honor belongs to Akira Toriyama. As soon as those words were said, fighting broke out everywhere. Nar, however, stood still just like Jiren was doing. He turned around and saw Jiren staring at him intently. They stared at each other for 30 seconds until Jiren just walked away. In the stands, why did he just walk away from him? Champa asked. That's because Jiren has declared him a non-threat. Jiren doesn't waste his time on weaklings and has placed Naruto in that same category. Belmont answered, your fighter has just made a big mistake thinking Naruto isn't a threat. Champa replies, you know something, don't you, Lord Champa? You're usually bragging about someone's power. Mixerida said, yes, I do know something. I can tell you right now, Naruto's excellent at suppressing his own power. I don't even know how strong he is. He's grown stronger since the last time we fought. Champa said, who won that fight? Whis asked and Champa said nothing and just watched the tournament. That's something that put some of the gods on edge. Universe 9. Take out Naruto from Universe 6. He's our primary target. Ignore everyone else. We take him out and Universe 6 will crumble. Sidra exclaimed. Fighting arena. Naruto was just standing there with his eyes closed and opened them when he was surrounded by 5 members of Universe 9. You heard our orders, guys. Let's take him out quickly. Chapel said he was a dragon-like creature with a body that looked like it was made out of steel. Yeah, let's finish this. We have a universe to protect. Oregano said. All 5 members charged in at Naruto, who was not in the least bit worried. He figured he could handle this easily without using a lot of strength. Chapel reached him first and Naruto ducked out of the way of one of his kicks and punched him in the chest. Chapel smirked at this and didn't notice Nar leave a small little blast on his chest. Your direct attacks won't have any effects on me. I'm extremely durable now. How about I give you a couple of free shots just for entertainment, Chapel said, tapping his chest. That's nice of you, but I only need one, Nar said. He snapped his fingers and the small blast on Chapel exploded sending him flying out of the ring. Chapel was the 3rd person eliminated from the tournament. He joined Lu of Universe 10 and Nink of Universe 4. The other 4 members surrounding Nar attacked at once and he was bored. So he decided to get them out quickly. He used his superior speed to get behind all of them and used a huge blast to send them out of the ring. No way, Gohan said as he was watching Naruto eliminate them rather quickly. He just eliminated half of the 9th universe's fighters by himself. Piccolo said, I hope you're done staring at me. I could have easily eliminated the both of you. Nar said and walked away. He looked on as 2 more members from Universe 9 is eliminated by Frieza and 18. He looked up and saw the 3 fighters from Universe 9 he met at the Xeno Expo get pushed back to the edge of the arena by Goku and Vegeta. Well, this is interesting. The tournament hasn't been going on that long and a universe is actually about to be eliminated already. He thought he was brought out of his thoughts when he blocked a punch from some guy wearing a superhero costume. I see you were able to block my punch. You have just entered a battle with me and it shall be your last. I am Kadupsla and I am the destroyer of evil mode. He didn't finish. Nar simply kicked him away. Man, he was annoying. He said, all fighters from Universe 9 have been eliminated. By the rules explained earlier, the 9th universe shall be exterminated. The Grand Priest said, Grand Zeno, no. The 9th universe Supreme Kai yelled. Bye-bye. The Omni Kings yelled and closed their hands in the air, wiping out the entire Universe 9 as well as those present except for their angel. Congratulations, Goku. You are now responsible for the first mass genocide of this tournament. Everybody, let's give him a round of applause for being the reason we are in this predicament in the first place. Nar said loudly while clapping his hands in a mocking way. Nar, shut up. You're so damn annoying. Caulifla said, how about I show you how annoying I am by eliminating you from the tournament myself. I'm not going to hold back my words for anybody. I don't give a damn who they are. This goes for you as well, Omni Kings. You both are too happy to be eliminating universes like this. You're treating this like some game. Well, news flash, it's not a game. People's lives are not games. I wonder how you sleep at night knowing you just kill people for fun or because you threw a temper tantrum. Nar said, that is enough. You will not disrespect the Omni Kings in my presence. The Grand Priest said, why is it because I'm telling the truth? They had to hear it. I want them to know they aren't kings. They're nothing but murderers. Now, let's get this tournament up and running again. I still have someone in my universe that is hoping I win, and she's very special to me. Nar said he was thinking about the little girl Salah he met on Mayani. He visited her a couple times over the years, and they've grown close like a brother and sister. As soon as he was done talking, the fighting seemed to resume, but now everyone had a better understanding of the situation and started to fight even harder than before. Oh man, look at all these strong fighters. They're really going at it. I can feel my blood pumping. It's time for me to jump back in again. Goku said happily. You're still not understanding the consequences of your actions. You're just like Zeno, a grown man with the brain of a 5-year-old. Know this, Goku. I will be the one to eliminate you, and I'll enjoy the look on your universe's face when their strongest fighter is eliminated. Nar said, walking away in the stands. I thought you said Nar doesn't hate anything. Vados Mixera asked. He doesn't. Vados said, then what was all of that about? It seems like he has a deep hatred for the Omni Kings Goku and Grand Priest from the way he talks to them. Cuz said, I must agree with them. His attitude is one of the most hideous things I've ever seen. Helios said he doesn't hate them. He simply wants Goku to own up to this being his fault. He wants King Zeno to realize that killing people for fun isn't the right thing. And he wants the Grand Priest to stop being a yes man. In his words, he believes since we all are afraid of getting King Zeno mad, he believes King Zeno thinks he does nothing wrong. Vados said, when you put it like that, it makes Nar seem like he would make an excellent pride trooper. Hey, Champa, do you want to trade Naruto to my universe? Belmont asked, didn't you call him weak? No, I'm not trading him. He's the strongest in the tournament, so he stays in my universe. No, let's get back to watching the tournament. Champa said, fighting arena. Nar stood by watching Krillin eliminate some bird-looking creature from Universe 10, then watched as he and 18 teamed up and eliminated someone from Universe 4. He was going to challenge Krillin, but he had to fight with a blind-looking fox. He was impressed that Krillin was able to defeat him and eliminate him on his own despite being weaker. Sure, the way he won was funny, but a win is a win in Naruto's eyes. Yo, Baldy, Nar said, walking up to them. Seriously, again, I don't want to fight him. Can't I just take a breather? Krillin said, I'll handle him. 18 said, relax. I'm not here to fight. I just want to talk. So, what's your name? Nar said, I'm Krillin. Krillin said, 18. 18 said, seriously, that's the name you were born with? A number? Nar asked, no, it's the name I go by. She said, then what's your actual name? Nar asked, why do you want to know? She asked, Shishesh, what's wrong with her? All I did was ask for her name. Nar said, she doesn't really tell people her real name. Only me and her brother know. Krillin said, fair enough. I'm Nar. I couldn't help but notice you're fighting. Given the way you two are in sync, I'm guessing Krillin is hitting that on a regular basis. Nar said he noticed 18 had a small blush on her face, but chose not to say anything. Well, she is my wife. Krillin said, nice niece. So, how long have you two been married? Nar asked. You do realize we're in the middle of a tournament, right? Why are you just lounging around having a casual conversation with us? 18 said, because I know nobody here can beat me. I'm not being or anything, but it's just the truth. Hey, you see that girl over there? He asked, pointing at Kale, the shy one. What about her? Krillin asked. That's my girlfriend. She may seem shy and timid, but she's the second strongest member on our team. The problem is she can't control her power. Nar said, then why bring her here? 18 asked, why not? Anyway, that's not why I'm here. I just wanted to say nice fighting and the stinky shoe part gave me a good laugh. I like how you didn't back down despite him being stronger than you. Now celebrate with your wife if you must. I want to go find that bastard that ignored me earlier. Nar said and walked away. He's a weird one, Krillin said. Yeah, I know. Thanks for not telling him my real name. 18 said and gave him a kiss on the cheek before walking away. She didn't get far before she heard someone speak up. My, look at how the tables have turned. Now you're eliminated, Frost said behind Krillin and kicked him out of the ring before he could move. Hey, you mess with him, you mess with me as well, 18 said getting ready to attack. Attempting offer, but I have places to be, Frost said and threw an energy blast at his feet and disappeared in the smoke. Coward 18 said in the stands, way to blow it big time. Shame on you, Curly. Beerus said, the name is still Krillin, sir. Krillin responded, I only learned the names of winners. Beerus said, I'm sorry. You can call me whatever you like. Krillin said, you performed admirably out there, Krillin. I'm not too upset about your loss. Shin said with a deadly face, what's done is done. You better cheer extra loud now. After all, that's the only thing you can do now. Beerus said, yes, sir. Sorry, guys. My bad. Now you're going to have to fight even harder because of me. Krillin said fighting area. Don't worry, Krillin. We can handle it from here on out. Roshi said, standing back to back with Gohan, Piccolo, and Tien. He's right. We can do this with 9. We've just got to stay focused. Gohan said, no matter how you spin it, it's still pathetic to get knocked out just because you were careless. 17 said, kicking an opponent away. I can't say I'm proud to call you my husband right now. You wasted all that money on your home gym just to leave our team short. 18 said, running away from some energy blasts. Stance, come on, honey. I said I was sorry. Okay. Krillin said, how sad for your team, brother. Champa said, laughing at Beerus. I don't have time to swap insults, Champa. Beerus said, hey, that's an excellent point. You don't have time now that the 7th universe is down a fighter already. Now that your universe is counting down to its certain extinction, you don't have time for anything. Oh, look, Beerus. It seems your Saiyan Vegeta is about to be the next victim. Champa said, and everyone looked to see what he was talking about. Fighting area, Vegeta was in his Super Saiyan state, dodging blast after blast from the double team of Bodmo and Vegeta. You gutless little bastards, Vegeta said. I'm sure if Vegeta could hear you, he would be insulted. Bodmo said as Vegeta ran towards Vegeta, punching the ground, making him jump backwards. Master Kaba said, walking up to Vegeta. He had to block attacks from 2 people and quickly eliminated them. They were Maurice of Universe 10 and Niggy of Universe 3. Unless you back out now, we'll have no choice but to fight. Kaba said, powering up to Super Saiyan. This battle is as good as over. So, I'm going to give you a choice. You can either leave from the ring right now, or I can force you out. Hit said as he just finished dismantling the arms off of Nariyama, a robot from Universe 3. Nariyama said as his back opened up. Stance. H. While it's true he lost his arms, that core unit in his torso is what really matters. He can still fire his main cannon. Universe 3's Supreme Kai said, pushing up his glasses. Fighting area. Cannon charging complete. Nariyama didn't finish because Hit used his time skip ability to freeze time and pluck him out of the ring stance. That's impossible. How could Nariyama be defeated this early in the contest? Universe 3's Supreme Kai said. Fighting arena. I'm sensing a strange presence here and it's not pleasant. Hit said and then walked away. Meanwhile, Kale was in a fight with Methio from Universe 10. She ducked a hard punch and hit him in the mouth and his arm went limp, causing her to briefly let her guard down. I got him, she said happily. Suddenly, the tentacles around his mouth latched onto her fist. And now I've got you, he said. She struggled to get out, and Methop punched her hard in the gut, making her take a few steps back. Unfortunately, she backed up into his teammate, Enpapa, and stepped on his foot. That's my toe you're squashing, lady. Enpapa said and lifted her up by the ponytail. No, let me go, she exclaimed and tried to elbow him in the ribs, but it had no effect on him. Hey, check it out, partner. We've got ourselves a living punching bag. Enpapa said, I hope you're ready for this, Methiop said. He finished warming up, punching the air, and walked up to Kale, giving her another hard punch in the stomach. This one was harder than the last one, and she coughed up some spit. He then proceeded to hit her with a barrage of punches while laughing. I love to hear you shriek. Methop yelled and punched her again, making more spit fly out of her mouth. She passed out from the pain she took and Nappa didn't appreciate that. Wake up. Who said you could pass out on us? That's no fun. How did such a lightweight get picked for this match? Napapa said. He dropped her to the ground and kicked her in the air towards the outside of the ring. Caulifla saw this and quickly jumped up and caught her. I got you, Kale. Are you alright? Caulifla asked. Caulifla, I failed you. I failed Naruto, too. I should have been stronger. I'm sorry. Kale said, don't worry. Just take a little breather. Caulifla said, yeah, Kale. Listen to her. You're not really a fighter, but you did good against them. Nar said, appearing next to them. He and Caulifla looked up and noticed Napapa and Methop looking at her laughing. You made a big mistake messing with her. Caulifla said, ooh, look. I bet she's a good crier, too. Nappa said, what? Or there's going to be some crying. All right, but it won't be from me. My first course will be seafood. Caulifla said as she transformed to Super Saiyan and charged at them. She reached Methop and gave him a hard punch to the side that made his eyes bulge and spit fly out of his mouth. She gave him the same barrage of punches he gave Kale, but her punches were faster and harder than his. She finished it up by landing a heavy punch on him, sending him flying away. Before she could chase after him, Enpapa came after her and tried using his heavy size to his advantage, trying to push her off the arena. This freight train is going straight out of the ring. Napapa exclaimed. Caulifla managed to plant her foot right before the edge of the ring, and Napapa was struggling to move. She powered up and with a yell she gave him a suplex breaking the ring. She managed to get away but sadly Npapa didn't and he was eliminated. At least one of them is gone for good, she said and powered down. Kale, she said. She ran back over to her and saw she was there giggling with Nar and had a small but noticeable blush on her face. What the hell are you doing with her? Caulifla asked, grabbing Kale away from Nar. We were just talking as all Caulifla. I decided to keep her company while you were fighting. Nar said, well, I'm back, so you can leave now. Caulifla said, as you wish. Now, Kale, remember what I said to you. You can use as much power as you can handle. If you go on a rampage, I'll stop you. Nar said and started to walk away. Kale looked at Caulifla and she sighed. Nurad, wait. Can you fight alongside us just for old time's sake? We can start by taking on that guy, Caulifla said, pointing at Goku, who was being toyed with by somebody using instant transmission like it was some toy. Actually, Caulifla, I'll take him first. Nar said, fine, go ahead, but that's the last time I'm offering that now. Go fight. Caulifla said. Nar didn't respond and just rushed towards Goku. Caulifla. Kale asked, what's up, Kale? Caulifla asked, I know you want to be friends with him again. I saw you one night crying in our room holding a picture of you two from when we were kids. Besides, me and him are kind of dating now, so I need you to be more civil with him. Can you please do that for me? Kale asked. When the hell did you two start dating? As for being friends with him again, I doubt it would happen. I said too much hurtful stuff that day. I mean, yeah, we're all in our 20s now, but I doubt he would forgive me. Now, let's just watch what he can do. Caulifla said. Naruto versus Goku. Goku was standing still waiting for the right moment to strike, but his opportunity never came because his opponent was kicked away. Hey, who do you think you are? He asked. I think I'm the person who's going to kick your Nar said and transformed into a Super Saiyan stance. I didn't think he would make his move on Goku so soon, Lord Champa. Vados said, yeah, I know, but I don't think he's going to try and eliminate him. He'll probably just make a point right now. Champa said, Lord Beerus, I think we should tell somebody to help Goku. I can tell that Nar can back up what he says. He may not try to eliminate Goku, but he may severely wound him. Whis said, let's just wait and watch for now. Beerus said, all of the gods were eager to see what this Naruto could do as well, so they all paid attention to this fight. Naruto versus Goku. I hope you're ready for an kicking. Don't worry, Omni Kings. Your precious golden boy won't be getting eliminated right now. Nar said, this is awesome. I knew we would eventually fight. Goku said and settled into his stance. They stared each other down before Goku rushed forward and threw a punch at Naruto that he simply caught in his palm. Nar pulled Goku forward and gave him a headbutt and kicked him away. Goku recovered, but not quickly enough because Nar had his knee in his gut, making him cough up spit. Goku powered up and kicked Nar away and threw multiple energy blasts at Nar. Nar blocked them all and Goku appeared in his blind spot and attempted to kick him in the head. Nar grabbed him by the ankle and slammed him into the ground. He slammed Goku so hard he bounced up off the ground. Okay, that hurts a lot. Goku thought. Nar grabbed him by his shirt and punched him in the stomach 3 times before kicking him away. Goku recovered after a few seconds and charged at Naruto in his Super Saiyan 2 form. He punched Nar and sent him flying away, giving him no time to recover. Goku appeared behind Naruto and gave him a point-blank energy blast, causing a big explosion. A few seconds go by and the smoke cleared, revealing Naruto unharmed. He powered up to Super Saiyan 2 as well, and everybody felt how powerful he was. What they didn't know was that Naruto was barely trying against Goku. He didn't need to transform. He just decided to humor everybody. He quickly got behind Goku and gave him a German suplex and kicked him over to Caulifla who was standing there with her mouth agape. Your turn, Caulifla. I've had my fun. Nar said, powering down. Holy shit, Caulifla said. Stance. He just treated Goku like he was a joke. I don't believe it. Krillin said it was like he wasn't even trying. Did you see the look on his face? He looked bored while he was fighting Goku. Beerus said, yes, my lord. Your assumptions do hold some value to them. However, I do not know that they are true. Whis said, they are true. Nar wasn't trying against Goku. He didn't need to transform. He could have easily beaten Goku in his base form. Actually, he kind of did. You all weren't paying attention to it. But Naruto never raised his power level when he transformed. He's mastered his transformations to the point where he can use them and still keep his base power level. Vados said, how strong is he exactly? Mixerida asked, the strongest in our universe. Champa said, so he's the strongest, but only you and Vados can beat him. Beerus said, if that's what you want to believe, Champa said. Before anybody could respond, a loud roar, and an extremely huge explosion of energy happened. Fighting area. Nar was walking around looking for a fight when he felt Kale lose control of her powers. He looked over at her and due to her rampage, she eliminated two different people. Juan from Universe 11 and Methio from Universe 10. Nar paid close attention to her and she was mainly fighting Goku. He landed next to Caulifla and spoke to her. What the hell happened? Why is she going on a rampage? He asked. She was trying to help when I was fighting Goku and she asked if I thought she was interfering or being a bother. I ignored her on purpose so she could bring out her power. She broke down saying, Goku made her seem like she was useless and a bother to me. And then she transformed and went on a rampage. Caulifla said, damn it, Caulifla. You know she's fragile mentally and is extremely dependent on you and me. You're lucky I'm here now. I'm going to stop her. Nar said Kale just finished another rampage and started to let out a lot more power going overboard. Jiren saw this and decided to step up. He jumped towards her, ready to attack, but Nar was standing right behind him with an energy blast pointed at the back of his head. Move, Nar said in a calm yet icy voice that sent chills down the other competitor's spine. Jiren stood there for about 30 seconds before walking away. As he was walking away, he spoke to Nar. You're weak just like the rest of the fighters. Jiren said and walked off. This coming from the person who ran from me twice now. Nar said he saw Kale charging towards him and he didn't bother to move. She threw a punch at him and he calmly grabbed her wrist using her momentum against her and flipped her over his shoulder, slamming her into the ground. She got back up like nothing happened, but Nar was behind her and knocked her out with a chop to the neck. Kale went back to normal, but Nar caught her before she could hit the ground. He teleported away to Caulifla and they guarded Kale until she woke up. I'm going to fight some more. Can you both handle things while I'm gone? Nar asked. I'm not a damn kid anymore, Nar. You don't need to be protective of me anymore. I'm a Super Saiyan 2 now. I can handle anything. Pretty soon, I'll be able to reach Super Saiyan 3. That Goku guy thinks I can't get to Super Saiyan 3 before this tournament is over. Caulifla said, yes, you're a Super Saiyan 2 user now, but you haven't mastered it. I can feel the energy drain that transformation causes you. You're a long way from mastering Super Saiyan 2 and not even remotely close to reaching Super Saiyan 3. Goku is just blowing smoke up your he knows you're strong and wants to fight you some more. Now take care of her. I'll see you both around, he said and vanished. Nar walked around for quite some time and didn't find anybody interesting to challenge. Quite a few people were eliminated as he walked around. Universe 11 lost 6 members in a quick fashion. Universe 6 lost Bodmo, Vegeta, and Frost who foolishly trusted Frieza. Frost was erased by Zeno for trying to attack Frieza from the stands. Universe 7 lost 2 more people, Tien and Roshi. Universe 4 lost 3 people. Universe 3 lost 1 person and Universe 2 lost 5 people. He bumped into 3 people from Universe 10 named Jorozan, Geel, and Rub. He eliminated all 3 of them with ease. He watched as Gohan finished off Universe 10 by taking out the strongest member, Abuni, who hinted at having a family he was fighting for. The fight was interesting to Nar because Abuni would use feints, making it impossible to yo-touch him, causing Gohan to use his mystic form. The fight lasted until Gohan eliminated Abuni with a Kamehameha. He noticed Gohan staring at some kind of amulet on the ground and narrowed his eyes to get a good look at what it was, and his assumption was correct. Abuni was fighting for his family, and they were just erased, never given the opportunity to see each other again. Oh, look at this. Jiren is challenging the idiot now to assert his dominance. Too bad it will be all for nothing since Goku will not even be a challenge for him. Nar said as he landed next to Hit, Kale, and Caulifla. Are you sure? I mean that Goku is quite strong. I've fought him before and I can tell he's done nothing but get stronger. Hit said, yes, I know he's gotten stronger, but trust me, I doubt Jiren will even try against him. Nar said looking bored. As Goku attacked Jiren with everything, even his Super Saiyan God form that Jiren blocked. He looked on as Goku decided to go Super Saiyan Blue. That still won't be enough. Nar said, what do you mean? Caulifla asked. Just watch. Nar said, well, he's showing the full power of his Super Saiyan Blue. Of course, even that will be pointless. Belmod said, not so in a different way. It could prove to be quite useful, in fact. We want him as strong as possible when he loses. Universe 10's Kai said, why does that matter? Belmod asked. Look closely. That man Goku might be one of the best fighters in the whole tournament of power. If he fights with everything he has, and Jiren still defeats him easily, the other contestants in the ring will realize that they do not stand a chance and will lose their will to compete. Kai said, so, you want Goku to reach full power so we can make an example of him as mental warfare. I like that. Belmont said, you should not forget the dangers of overconfidence, my lord. Mixerida said, you're right. That would be true for any other fighter. But we're talking about Jiren who cannot be defeated. Overconfidence would not be possible. Belmont said, you have every right to be confident in your fighter, Lord Belmont. However, there is one thing you should take a look at. Whis said, what would that be? Belmont asked that Naruto from Universe 6. Everyone flinched or were terrified when Jiren unleashed his power, even some of the gods. But I was taking a look around and he didn't even move an inch or show any reaction to hit. Quite honestly, he looked bored the same as he does now. Goku is not an easy person to defeat. Yet, Naruto beat him easily when they fought earlier, and as Vados pointed out, didn't need to transform or power up to do it. Whis said that's because he is bored. Nobody here has caught his attention except for Jiren who keeps walking away. Jiren called him weak, which is anything further from the truth. Jiren can't detect how much power Naruto has suppressed in his body. Just watch. I'm sure Naruto will wind up challenging Jiren eventually. Champa said he'll challenge Jiren and he'll fall like those who have challenged him before. Belmont said. Beerus looked back at Whis and had a silent conversation. It ended when Whis simply nodded his head and everyone paid attention to the fighting area. Goku and Jiren stood face to face for about 10 seconds before Goku threw the first punch, sending Jiren flying back towards a huge miniature mountain-sized boulder. Goku caught up to him and punched him again. This time he drove him completely through the boulder and threw two more. This started a barrage of punches and kicks that Jiren easily countered and overpowered Goku. When Goku is thrown around for a few moments, he starts using Super Saiyan Blue Koken X20. He got away from Jiren and fired a Kamehameha at him, which he dodged. Goku began jumping around Jiren, shooting energy blasts at him. Jiren eventually catches up to Goku, grabs his ankle, and throws him to the ground. Goku quickly recovered and shot towards Jiren from the ground, once again using Super Saiyan Blue Koken X20. This led to a quick exchange of blows from both Goku and Jiren until Jiren overpowered him again and punched him to the ground. After knocking Goku down, Jiren grabs him by the hair and blasts him off the arena, only for Goku to be barely hanging on by the edge. Goku pulled himself up back into the ring. Where do you think you're going? Goku asked in a serious voice. Jiren turned and just looked at him. Goku powered up to the maximum of Super Saiyan Blue Koken X20. Goku rushed to attack Jiren again, but Jiren simply glared at Goku and dealt several invisible blows, knocking Goku away. Jiren's attacks were so fast that even fighters such as Vegeta were unable to see it coming. The only person in the ring who saw the attacks coming was Naruto, who just smirked at the attack. Not bad, Jiren. Not bad, Nar said. Look at those marks. He must have hit Goku with countless attacks at once. 17 said, yeah, but I didn't even see him lift a finger. 18 said, stance. I knew he was strong, but that's just something on a whole different level. Roshi said, Goku's time in the tournament may be over. Tien said, he's not done yet. With Goku's current power, he should still have enough to multiply his Super Saiyan Blue with Koken X20. Krillin said, I hope you're right. Tien said, hey, Goku. Krillin exclaimed. It's no use. Beerus said, what do you mean it's no use? Krillin asked. And Beerus just grit his teeth together. He means there's no point telling Goku to use Koken X20. He's already tried that very technique in his last assault. Whis said, are you kidding me? Roshi said, damn it. So now what? Krillin asked. Fighting area. He outplayed me, Jiren. Hard to believe I couldn't even land a blow when I was blue with Koken X20. Goku said, powering down. Wait, there's one move left he can use. Gohan said, I do have a full appreciation of your strength now, but I do have something I've been holding back that you've convinced me to use. Goku said, hoping up to the highest rock he could find, lifting his hands in the air. Huh. Jiren said, stance. All right, a spirit bomb. Krillin said, why did he return to his normal form? Tien asked. He told me once that he can't gather spirit energy as a Super Saiyan because that form is fueled by rage. Krillin said, fighting area. All right, everyone. I need you to lend all of the energy you can spare. Let's go, Goku said. You can take as much as you need. Gohan said, lifting his hand, giving energy for the spirit bomb. Yeah, same here. Piccolo said, giving up his energy. I think we can both spare some. 17 said, that's right. It won't bother me. 18 said as they also gave up some of their energy. Haha, I know that move quite well. While I've had nothing but bad memories of it, it is a new day. Emperor Frieza shall bestow some of his energy to you. Frieza said, lending him some energy. To hell with you, Kakarot. I'm not going to be your little crutch. Vegeta said and hopped away. Thanks everyone, but it's still not enough. I'm going to need more time to gather enough energy. Goku said, I'll wait. Jiren said, huh? Goku asked. Take however much time you need. If this is your ultimate move, I want it done right. Go ahead and do your worst. Jiren said sternly. All right. I'm surprised. Thanks for being so patient, Jiren. Goku said, stance. Jiren will take on Goku's attack and counter with something even greater. Kai said, it's a simple yet effective approach. I can hardly wait. Belmod said, I must confess I'm feeling a bit uneasy about this, my lord. Mixerida said, fighting area. Goku's left himself wide open from behind. Time to send some surprise love. Pretty canoe. Ryan was blasted away by Vegeta before she could make her move. Ridiculous. Enough of the theatrics. Kakarot, let's go already, Vegeta said. Stance, Goku, Krillin exclaimed. Giving up his power. You can take our energy too, Tien said. Giving off his power. Hell yeah. It's not like we need it anymore. Roshi said, giving off his power. What a fight. That's truly a fascinating technique. IW said, I can't believe the two lower ranked universes produced warriors this good. Eric said, yes, this promises to be quite the climax. Gwyn said, fighting area, it's ready. Yes, Goku exclaimed as the spirit bomb reached full power. All right, Jiren. Once you're out, I hope you don't regret giving me enough time to finish this. This is what happens when the seventh universe joins together. This is our spirit bomb, Goku said as he threw the spirit bomb at Jiren. Jiren stood there, embraced himself, and allowed the spirit bomb to make contact. A few seconds later and the spirit bomb started to move in the direction of Goku. Jiren was seen standing there with one arm in the air, forcing the spirit bomb back at Goku. Seriously, Goku said. Impossible. He's pushing it away. Piccolo said, Dad's not done. He can power up and push back. Gohan said, come on. Goku said he powered up to Super Saiyan Blue and stopped the spirit bomb. Jiren used two hands and pushed the spirit bomb at Goku again. Kaukan X10 Goku said he powered up and stopped the spirit bomb again, but it still never moved towards Jiren. Goku was struggling to move the spirit bomb even an inch towards Jiren. Kaukan times 20. Goku yelled. He powered up and this time the spirit bomb practically flew at Jiren. Jiren let out a yell, released more power, and pushed the spirit bomb back at Goku. The spirit bomb starts to absorb Goku, but he manages to push it back at Jiren's stance. Whoa. He stopped it and Omni King said, that was very close. The other said, yes, don't give up, Saiyan. Finish this. Beerus said. Jiren dropped his hands to the side and gave a glare at the spirit bomb, sending it back at Goku. Whoa, he's still pushing. And Omni King said, I'm amazed. The other said Goku was struggling to push the spirit bomb back but dug deep and managed to push it back, resulting in a deadlock between the two stance, a considerable amount of energy indeed. Most effective, Eric said. Yes, it's a great achievement. Such might cannot be obtained through normal discipline. Jiren is especially astonishing the way he can exert and command such an incredible force with merely a glare. It is a wonderful strength to behold. I sense a stronger power within him. Anato said, fighting area. The opposing forces from Goku and Jiren caused the spirit bomb to shrink down and then expand. It did it again but expanded twice and started to give off a dangerous glow and screeching noise, putting everyone on edge, even some of the gods' stance. It seems Goku has reached the very limits of his power while Jiren remains calm and collected while being a far cry from going all out. My lord, Whis said, it's astounding. I've never felt such force, not in all my life. His strength is beyond words. Shin said, I dare say like a god of destruction. He is one who has reached that state. Perhaps even surpassed it. There was a rumor that said, there is a universe where a mortal lives that not even its god of destruction can't defeat. It appears the rumor is true. Whis said, that's right, Jiren. Show all the universes your power. Destroy that warrior. Goku, Belmod said. I guess we aren't alone in that category, Vados. Champa said, it appears so, my lord. Vados said, you have a mortal stronger than you as well, Lord Champa. Who is it? Whis asked. Champa didn't answer. He just simply pointed at Naruto, who was standing there calmly while Kale and Caulifla were holding onto him, trying not to get blown away. Are you serious? Beerus asked. Yes, Naruto was already close to Lord Champa's level before I started to train him with me. He reached his level and became slightly stronger. We did another training just before the tournament between Universe 6 and 7, and he completely blew past Lord Champa in strength. I'd say the only god capable of defeating both Jiren and Naruto would be Lord Beerus. Vados said. The spirit bomb began shining even brighter and the winds picked up, destroying even the biggest rocks around. Champa took notice of this and spoke up. Doesn't that look a little dangerous? He asked. The expansion of energy caught between their forces reaching its limit, Vados said. Fighting area. The two clashing powers of Goku and Jiren caused the spirit bomb to implode upon itself, covering Goku in the explosion. Everything in its blast radius was destroyed. Smoke was everywhere, and nobody could see what happened. Once the smoke clears, it seems as though Jiren had won the battle and Goku was vaporized by his own attack. Jiren was then surrounded by fighters from all of the remaining universes except Universe 7 and only Hid and Kaba walked up surrounding Jiren's stance. It appears that despite seeing Jiren's power, none of the remaining universes have lost their will to fight. Vados said, "Hey, Universe 6, what are you doing? Don't just stand around. Move. Knock them off and win. Just fight," Champa exclaimed. That's right. Not even half the time in the tournament of power has elapsed. Until this par is entirely sunk, no matter who falls or which universes are erased, the fight shall continue. The Grand Priest said, fighting area. Caulifla was about to go and fight, but Naruto stopped her. What the hell are you doing? Let me go. I want to go out and fight. She said, wait, something is about to happen, and I doubt you'll want to miss it. Nar said, what do you mean? Kale asked. Just watch and you'll see. Nar said looking at the spot where he felt Goku's energy rising at a slow but steady rate. Stance. Is this really how he falls? Is this actually the end? Goku, I know you're as down there, so get up and kick his Beerus exclaimed. Fighting area. Just then, the entire realm started to shake and an amazing amount of power was felt throughout the entire realm. Gohan. Piccolo asked, yeah, I feel it too. Gohan said, what is with this shaking? Topo asked. Stance the fighting stage. No, the entire world of Void is shaking from that incredible flow of power. Roshi said, yes, but what could it be? Is it him? Shin asked. Isn't it obvious who it is? Krillin said. Lord Beerus, do you have anything to say? Whis asked, noticing the grin on Beerus' had. He's coming. Beerus said fighting area. There was a sparkle of light in the rubble before a huge pillar of light exploded from the ground. Goku was seen emerging from the ground within the light. Once the light dies down and smoke clears, Goku turns around and levels a hard look at Jiren. His clothes are torn up and he has cuts over his body. But the only thing that changed is his eyes. They were no longer black. They were silver. He looked as if he was in his base form, but he had a bluish silver's aura around him. Stance. Ooh, Goku was alive. An Omni King said, ooh, Goku's all intense. The other said, fighting area. Goku, how did he survive? What is he? Topo asked. It doesn't seem as if he survived that explosion due to sheer luck. Piccolo said, stance. Something's different about him than before. Krillin said, he's emitting an extreme amount of heat. Tien said, but his energy seems to be completely calm. Roshi said, let's observe him for now. After all, this is the first time I've seen Goku like this myself. Whis said, fighting area. Goku took a step forward and next thing everyone knew, he was floating above Jiren, who had to duck out of the way from a kick. Jiren stands pushed Goku off and throws a punch at him, but Goku dodged and countered it with his own punch. Jiren acted quickly and threw his own, resulting in a shock wave from the collision of their fists clashing. Goku jumped back and Jiren went after him with a punch, but Goku dodged again. This time, Jiren stood up and he had a small cut on his face and wiped away the blood. It only grazed him, but Goku's attacks are working now. Even when he was in Super Saiyan Blue, he didn't stand a chance. Piccolo said, those movements, they're not anything like how Dad usually moves. He's not just fast. I couldn't even sense when he was going to attack. Gohan said, yeah, I know. It's the same when he dodges as well, Piccolo said. What's going on? I can see him moving with my own eyes, yet his actions are unreal. What happened to you, Kakarot? Vegeta said looking at the fight. You don't know when to surrender. Goku, you've already lost this fight. Toppo said as he and Disso went to punch Goku from opposite sides. Goku caught their fists and threw them away with ease. Stance. This is not normal, Roshi said. The speed of his response, the accuracy of his movements is incredible. Tien said, what happened to Goku all of a sudden? Krillin asked, fighting area. Damn it. Take this Goku. Justice Flash, Topo exclaimed. He began shooting red energy blasts from his fingertips, but they all missed since Goku was simply walking ahead of them. One of them got close to Goku, but he just knocked it away like a fly. Jiren held his hand out at Topo, signaling him to stop attacking. My help is unneeded. I see you wish to fight Goku alone. Toppo said Goku was walking but then rushed at Jiren, who closed his eyes and did the same attack he beat Goku with earlier. Goku dodged every punch thrown his way and broke through Jiren's guard and began throwing a barrage of random kicks and punches at Jiren. Jiren managed to block them all, but was losing ground and had to jump back. They disappeared all around the area fighting each other. Who do you think has the advantage this time? 18 asked 17. I can't tell just yet, but somehow Goku managed to overcome the tremendous gap in their power. 17 said, even now as he's fighting, he continues to evolve. With every block, he hits Jiren more quickly, sharply, and heavily. Piccolo said, stance. I can't believe someone who can gain on Jiren this much so fast exists. Kai said, it's not possible. It can't be possible, Belmont said, pulling at his hair. Goku has become so much stronger now. And Omni King said, yes, much stronger and much more amazing, too. The other said, tell me how. Tell me why. How could it really be? The Grand Priest thought out loud. It's so wonderful. I hoped for this. But I must admit, I was doubtful that a Saiyan would ever be able to achieve it. Whis exclaimed. So, you know what happened to him? Shin asked. Yes, I believe so. Ah, I've been trying to steer him towards this forever. Whis said as they watched the fight continue. Beerus, realizing what it was, grit his teeth together before speaking. Ultra Instinct, he said, and all of the gods were shocked by this revelation. So that's how he's reacting so quickly. But Goku is a mortal being, and that is an extremely elite level of power that is difficult for even the highest of gods to reach. Anato said, I don't know what you're talking about, but the other deities seem to be pretty worried about it. Roshi said, at this point, it would be premature for me to verify it is true. However, it is certainly a development that demands attention. The Grand Priest said, wonders really do happen, don't they, Lord Beerus? Whis asked. The deities from universes seem to know what is this great ancestor. Shin said, wait, are you telling me you don't know about this level? You ready, rookie? The Elder Supreme Kai asked, but why now? And why is it Goku? Beerus asked, the Saiyan Spirit Bomb appears to be the catalyst, Lord Beerus. Whis said, you mean Goku absorbed the power of the Spirit Bomb and is using it to fight? Krillin said, I doubt that's the case, Krillin. The Spirit Bomb was strong, but Jiren pushed it back. Even if Goku added all of its energy to his own power, it still wouldn't be enough. Tien said, you are correct, Tien. Most likely, Goku has used the Spirit Bomb's energy to replenish his exhausted body. But as you said, that alone wouldn't be sufficient to explain what we are seeing now. It was the start, a match that lit a much greater power within. My theory is that when the Spirit Bomb exploded so closely to Goku, its great power coursed into Goku and smashed into his own energy, which he was already pushing to its max. This was the collision he needed to shatter the ceiling of his power, reach or even greater potential that has been locked within him. Whis explained, he broke through his ceiling. Krillin asked, yes, he's now in uncharted territory. However, that heat, I'm not sure about this. Whis said as the fight came to a conclusion. Fighting area. So that's what it's called. Ultra Instinct. Naruto thought. He remembered something similar happening during one of his training sessions with Vados. He looked up at her and she just nodded. He may be able to dodge, but that's all he can do. His body hasn't been trained to handle the strain it puts on the body. As soon as it runs out, I guarantee he'll be in pain and have some severe injuries. Naruto thought as he looked back at the fight. The fight between Jiren and Goku was at its end. Goku was in Jiren's face and they began throwing more punches. Goku felt his power slipping and after a loud yell, he KNE Jiren in the gut and then blasts him to the ground. Goku jumps back onto the time peril and shoots forward at Jiren, hoping to end it with a punch. At the last moment, Goku's power ran out and Jiren caught his fist, causing another shock wave. Once the smoke cleared, Jiren spoke. Saiyans are interesting creatures. However, this heat is all you have to offer, Jiren said and blasted Goku away. He'd used this moment to try and attack Jiren while he thought his guard was down. That proved to be wrong since Jiren simply caught his fist. The infamous assassin of Universe 6. Just why are you here? Jiren asked. I'm doing my job, Hit replied. Meanwhile, Naruto noticed Vegeta save Goku from being eliminated and smirked. That was freaking awesome. Caulifla said, there was a lesson to be learned from that fight. Caulifla. Nar said, what lesson? I didn't learn anything. Caulifla said, I think it was that no matter how strong you think you are, there will always be someone stronger than you. Kale said, very good, Kale. I guess you're still more observant than Caulifla. Now, Caulifla, this goes for you mainly. You're too just because you're stronger now due to becoming a Super Saiyan. You think you're untouchable. Let me tell you something. Despite you achieving Super Saiyan 2, Goku still could have beaten you without trying. Don't let that power go to your head. It will be your downfall. Nar said, oof, nobody asked you for your opinion. Caulifla said, fine. You still want to act immature when I'm just looking out for you and giving you advice. Be that way. Naruto said, well, I didn't ask for your damn advice or opinion now, did I? No, I didn't. So, you can take whatever you have to say to me and shove it up your Caulifla said, fine. Don't complain to me when you're eliminated. Kale, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. Naruto said he gave Kale a kiss on the cheek and walked away. Meanwhile, Jiren and Hit were having a stare-off until Hit made the first move. He threw another punch at Jiren, but his fist was caught and Jiren spun him around in the air. Jiren went for a punch, but Hit used his time skip to avoid it and appeared behind Jiren going for an elbow drop. Jiren dodged and punched him in the face. He began a barrage of punches that Hit had a hard time blocking and was barely able to keep his guard up. Hit used his time skip again to appear behind Jiren. This time he went for a horizontal chop, but Jiren dodged that as well and threw another punch at Hit's face, but he used time skip to avoid it. So, this is his time skip ability, Jiren said as Hit reappeared a couple feet away from him. So, these are the attacks that Goku was feeling from Jiren. Now, I'm feeling them, too. Hit thought. Do you seriously intend to beat me? Jiren asked. That's my job, Hit said. Using time skip, he appeared in front of Jiren and they had a stare-off. The real Hit appeared behind Jiren and went to attack, but Jiren countered and met Hit with a punch of his own that Hit had to block. Hit started using countless time skips looking for an opening, but each time Jiren would counter with an attack and each of them would connect. He tried one last time, but Jiren punched him in the chest, sending him flying away. He's completely adapted to my time skip. Hit said he tried the same tactic again and each time Jiren countered. He created space with time skip and everyone wondered why he kept using it if it wasn't working. How many times will you repeat this? Stop wasting time. Jiren said, this is my job. You'll be joining me to the end. Hit responded. Jiren doesn't have any openings. Goku said as he was watching from up on a rock, Saiyan and Piana appeared below him and got ready to eliminate him, but Gohan and Piccolo interfered. They began fighting each other and Vegeta was fighting Rian until she was saved from elimination. Back with Hit and Jiren, Hit was blocking a barrage of punches from Jiren. The onslaught finished when Jiren decided to uppercut Hit. He went flying, crashing through a boulder and then some of them fell on top of him. I can't believe Jiren is schooling Hit like this. This is looking bad for our team. Come on, it's time for us to get in there, too. Caulifla said, please, not just yet. I think Hit is about to launch his counter move. Kaba said, based on what? He's getting his kicked. Caulifla said he's been carefully keeping his guard up whenever Jiren moves in. This lets him learn Jiren's style of fighting all while minimizing the attack damage. Let's wait. I think Hit is just looking for the right opening. Kaba said, I think I finally got his timing down and how he reacts. I can finally finish the job. Hit said he launched an energy attack from his fist that went through the rocks above him. Jiren saw the attack coming and blocked it with his hand. Hit appears behind him using his time skip ability. And as soon as Jiren turned around, he was struck in the chest by Hit, who was using the exact same energy he just threw at him. In order to turn the tables, this is the one strike that I needed to land. It will confine you to a time prison, Hit said. Jiren was sent flying back through multiple boulders. He was almost out, but managed to stop himself right at the edge of the ring. One attack means nothing. I will prevail, Jiren said. Suddenly, Jiren was frozen and couldn't move. He stopped Jiren from moving. I guess that's the opening he's been looking for all this time. Goku said, the ultimate assassin strikes again. Looks like Jiren can't even twiddle his thumbs. Caulifla said, oh, wow. So that's what he was up to. Kale said, yes, it is, but sadly it's not enough. Nar said, ah, you're back again. Caulifla said, I've always been here. You all just came over here to watch closer. Nar said, what are you doing here, Nar? Shouldn't you be somewhere fighting? Kaba said, I should be, but I'm not. I'm here because I have a message for Jiren. Nar said, what message, Nar? Kale asked, you'll see after this fight is over. It's a really interesting message. He said, now is your chance. Hit said, to do what? Kaba asked. Don't interfere with Jiren. Leave him to me. While he's contained, there's much more you all can do. So move. So move. We must save the 6th universe. Hit said. Don't worry, Hit. Just handle your business. I never took you for someone who likes to take a gamble at something. Nar said, and Hit smirked at him. You're right, Naruto. I'm not, but there's always a first for something, Hit said as he prepared his attack. Stance, Hit is actually coordinating with Naruto and the other Saiyans. Vados said, that's unusual, isn't it? Normally, he works alone like he can do everything himself. Champa said he plans to devote all of his energy to this technique. It's as Naruto said, Hit is taking a gamble right now while ensuring his universe wins. This is an all-or-nothing moment for him. Vados said, I see. Brilliant. Hit keep him pinned until time runs out. Champa exclaimed, fighting area. Hit created an energy sphere in his hand getting ready for his final attack. He noticed Jiren starting to move slowly and decided to make his attack. At this rate, I won't have much energy left to keep him trapped till the end. He's simply too powerful. In that case, I'll have to take it. Assassins aren't supposed to take a gamble, but I have no other choice. One last play. My job is to save the 6th universe, and I won't fail. Hit said. He rushed at Jiren out his attack in hand, but Jiren stopped it with a glare. Jiren, after struggling, managed to grab and crush the energy sphere Hit was attacking him with, which released him from the paralysis. He began attacking Hit relentlessly and sent him flying away. After attacking Hit for a while, Jiren sends him flying out of the ring with a power impact. Hit from the 6th universe has been eliminated. The Grand Priest announced, Stance. I'm sorry. I failed my job to save the 6th universe. I took a gamble and lost, Hit said as he was sitting in the stands. Don't worry, that loss wasn't in vain. I think you managed to inspire the other fighters by the way you fought. Besides, we still have Nar. We can still win this. Champa said, even after seeing Jiren's power, you still believe you have a chance at winning. Belmont said, like I said, we still have Naruto, so I'm not worried. Champa said, why put so much faith in one fighter? Mixerida asked. Simple. He's the only one to call out the Grand Priest and Omni King without showing a hint of fear. I don't know about you, but that's somebody I would want on my team. Let it be known that the tournament of power is halfway done. The Grand Priest announced the area changed from a dark color to green. Fighting area halfway done already. Time certainly does fly when you're destroying universes. Frieza said, just 50 TS left. Halfway done. Jiren Topo said understood. You can take it from here. The fighters you needed to worry about have already been dealt with. He said looking at Goku and began to meditate. Stance. Ooh, what's he doing? Both Omni Kings asked at the same time. A remarkably bold fighter. He's begun meditating sires. Even though half the time remains, Jiren is certain of his team's victory. The Grand Priest said, now I'm not complaining or anything, but that was kind of anticlimactic with all this time left and nobody who can pose a real threat. I guess he doesn't see Nar as a threat if he's not even attempting to fight him. Belmont said, oh, don't worry. Jiren's about to find out why he shouldn't have overlooked Nar. Champa said, pointing to Nar fighting area. If we're going to defeat him, this is our best chance. Katopulsa said, yeah, he's just begging us to knock him off the edge. Bara said, and jumped down in front of Disso and Topo. Well, look at this, Disso said. While I commend your courage for wanting to face Jiren. You're finished, Topo. And Disso said the last part together and rushed at Barara. Go. Now is our chance. Bara yelled. And Katopulsa attempts to attack Jiren, but is rejected by a force field. What just happened? Barara asked. Why is it so hard for you all to understand? You amateurs aren't cut out to fight Jiren. Dispo said, if you're not strong enough to pierce the energy barrier, there's no point in fighting him at all. Topo said, all right, Kale Kaba. I'm going to give Jiren my message. Take care of yourselves. Nar said, what about me? You didn't mention my name. Caulifla said, oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression that you didn't care about what I did or said to you. You're tough, remember. You're a Super Saiyan, too. Remember, I believe you told me to take whatever I have to say and shove it up my now. As I said before, Kaba Kale, take care of yourselves. I'm going to deliver my message. Nar said walked off. What was that all about? Kaba asked. Caulifla, I thought you were going to be nicer to him for me. Kale asked, I'm trying, but it's just hard. He betrayed me and left us. It's not going to be easy like it was for you. Caulifla said with a sigh. Ladies, can we just focus on the tournament? Naruto's about to make his move. Kaba said. Everyone looked at Nar wondering what he was going to do as he walked up to Jiren. Oh, look, another challenger. Didn't Jiren already deem you unworthy of challenging him? Dispo said, oh, shut up. You're nothing but a placeholder on the Pride Troopers. Naro said, such disrespect will not be tolerated. Topo said. Topo and Dispo rushed at Naruto and attacked him. He quickly dispatched them and left them laying on the ground. He walked up to Jiren and punched through the energy barrier and struck Jiren in the face, sending him over the edge. Jiren grabbed the edge and pulled himself back up and looked at Nar. I'm stronger than I look. This tiny bit you feel from me is nothing compared to my actual level. Nar said and walked away. Stance. He stuck Jiren without even trying. Kai said, how is that possible? Jiren's the strongest in the tournament. Belmod said, apparently, he isn't the strongest like you thought. Nar, raise your power to match what Jiren used against Goku. Champa exclaimed. Fighting area. Nar stopped walking and turned to face Jiren. He powered up and strong winds blew around, destroying everything around Nar. Everyone was taken back by how much power he was releasing, and it scared some of them that there were two people in the tournament stronger than some of the gods. Now that you know what I'm capable of, I wonder if you'll run away next time. Weakling, Nar said and walked away. Nar, calling Jiren a weakling, struck a nerve, and Jiren rushed at Nar with a punch aimed at the back of his head. Nar turned around and calmly caught the punch. Jiren tried removing his fist, but Nar had a firm grip on it. My, what a temper you have. You should really control that. It could cost you in a fight. Now, don't be so hasty. It's not our time to fight yet. But I'll give you a parting gift. Nar said. He powered up to Super Saiyan 2, releasing a huge amount of power and kicked Jiren away. I'll see you when it's time for us to fight. Until then, continue to walk around brooding like you have been doing, Nar said and disappeared over to where Kale and Caulifla were at. Where's Kaba? He asked. He saved us from some girl that was attacking us. Caulifla said, good. It's time for you two to team up now. Goku's all yours, but be careful though. Frieza gave him some of his energy, so he's recovered enough. If things get too hard for you, remember that secret weapon Champa gave you. Knowing Zeno, he'll approve of it. Nar said, don't tell me what to do. Caulifla said defiantly. Damn it, Caulifla. Just go fight him. Nar yelled, raising his power level. Nar. Kale said, what? He spun around and yelled at Kale, but regretted doing it once she shrunk away from him. And nothing else Caulifla, she said. Dragged her away. Damn it, Nar said and walked away to find Kaba. Stance. I've never heard Nar yell like that before. Vato's Champa said, yes, I know. We probably should have had them sort their problems out before we came here. Vatos said, looks like we'll be able to exploit the tension in your team, Champa. My beautiful team will be winning this tournament, and we shall spread the love everywhere we can. Helios said, oh, please. Given Naruto's current state, he just might start taking out the universes himself. You've seen what he did to Jiren. Imagine him actually trying to take out people, Champa said. Little did Champa know that's exactly what was about to happen. Everyone was on edge after what they just saw Naruto do to Jiren. Nar calmly walked around looking for his next opponent. He walked over to where Kaba was at and decided to watch his fight. He noticed Kaba was transformed into Super Saiyan but was still getting beat up. Meanwhile, in the stands, Beerus was having a bit of a discussion with Whis. Stands. Whis. How concerned should we be about Goku? We now have two extremely powerful fighters in this tournament and both of them have already defeated Goku with little difficulty. Beerus said it's quite concerning Lord Beerus. I'd have to say we should be really concerned. Now Nar has sent those two Saiyan girls to fight him. He has to fight against a Super Saiyan 2 and a girl with an uncontrollable amount of power. His only hope is to tap into Ultra Instinct again to win, but I doubt that will happen again so soon. Whis said, hey, Goku's child and Nekian, stop goofing around already. Eliminate those two you're fighting and go protect Goku. Beerus exclaimed, sorry, Beerus, but even if Goku manages to achieve Ultra Instinct again, he will not stand a chance against Kale and Caulifla. They have a secret weapon up their sleeve, and I'm sure Grand Zeno will greatly appreciate it. Now, let's finish watching the tournament, Champa said. Do you know what he's talking about, my dear sister? Whis asked Batos. Of course I do, but like everybody else, you're going to have to wait and see what it is. Batos said, had any of them been paying attention to Fua, they would have noticed he was missing his earrings that are to be worn by the Supreme Kai. Kaba versus Mona. Kaba was holding Mona back with his hands, and suddenly he went on the offensive. He went at her with a barrage of kicks and punches that she had difficulty blocking and keeping up with. He found an opening and gave her a punch in the chest, a kick to the gut, and another punch to the face. He jumped up high in the air and kicked two energy blasts from his feet at her. Both blasts connected and drove her back through a couple of boulders. Kaba was breathing hard and didn't have time to recover since Mona just jumped out of the smoke right after and she was unharmed. I'll be honest with you, Shorty. That almost kind of hurt me. Now you'll be sorry, she yelled. Mona suddenly grew to the size of a huge ball and barreled towards Kaba faster than he could react. She smashed into him and made him cough out spit, sending him flying back, tumbling on the ground. She came falling out of the air right on top of him, making a crater, and you could hear his screams of agony and pain. She jumped up in the air once again, and it was revealed that Kaba was knocked out of his Super Saiyan state. I'm not done with you yet, Mona exclaimed. She came crashing down, but Kaba managed to get out of the way. She began to roll again and caught up to him quickly, hitting him out of the air and causing him to tumble on the ground again. He managed to correct himself during his tumbles and bounced up to land on his feet. He was bruised up, breathing heavy, and couldn't even stand up straight. He was right at the edge of the ring, and she came barreling towards him again. She came straight at him, and he jumped out of the way, thinking she would go straight off the edge. However, to his shock, she quickly turned and hit him again, sending flying over the edge. Bye bye, little man. She taunted at him. Damn it, I couldn't even eliminate one person. At least I did some damage to her. Somebody else should be able to defeat her now. Kaba thought. He was suddenly grabbed by his arm and looked up and saw Vegeta, who did not look happy at the moment. Vegeta lifted him up and threw him back into the ring, making him crash into the ground. Hey, do you mind? Don't you steal my victory, Mona said. However, Vegeta just blasted her away. Thank you for saving me. I'm in your debt, Kaba said, but got a knee to the gut from Vegeta, sending him to the ground. Don't get the wrong idea, Vegeta said. What do you mean? Kaba asked, struggling to stand up. I didn't pull you back as an act of kindness. I can't stand to see a Saiyan embarrass our race by losing so easily. Vegeta said, I'm sorry. Kaba said, I hope you aren't planning on getting eliminated and losing, failing to keep your promise to me. Vegeta said, my promise. Kaba asked, you really don't remember? You said you'd take me to see planet Sadala. Vegeta said, oh yeah, I remember now, but only one universe can survive, which means no matter how hard I fight, there's no way to keep that promise. Kaba said, I'm going to win, and when I do, I'm going to revive you all with the Super Dragon Balls. Vegeta said, what? You would do that for us? Kaba asked, I'm not going to let a Saiyan break his word. That way, you can keep your promise and show me Sadala. Vegeta said, you're the best master. If by some chance we win this tournament, I'll wish you back and then you can come to the 6th universe. Kaba said, don't get ahead of yourself. I'm going to be the one who wins this tournament, not you. Vegeta said, yes, sir. Kaba said, saluting. Vegeta nodded and left to go find somebody to fight. Neither of them noticed Frieza behind a boulder, plotting to make his move. Kaba realized Mona was coming back and got ready for a fight. This time, I'll remember my Saiyan Pride Master. I won't let you down, Kaba said. You call that pest your master? Mona said as she barreled into Kaba, sending him into a boulder. After I'm done kicking you, I'll throw out that miserable Saiyan Vegeta too, she said and crashed into Kaba again. Master, Kaba thought, and static appeared around him before going away. Now this will be interesting, Naruto thought as he looked on from on top of a boulder. Then I'll go after those Saiyan women who ran away from me. I'll start with the loudmouth. Then I'll go to the shy one with the uncontrollable power. I can easily mentally break her and cause her own self-destruction. Mona exclaimed. I'll never let you touch them. Kaba said as more static showed up around him. Mona hit him again, sending him to the ground. After he hit the ground, she crashed into him and grinded him into the ground before stopping and jumping away. What a weakling. I thought Saiyans were supposed to be great warriors. You're frauds, quitters, and cowardly sneaks. Vegeta is too, Mona said. Don't you dare say that about him. Kaba said with static flowing around him. Why not? It's true. He blindsided me and ran away. He's nothing but a spineless coward. No wonder he's lasted so long. He's been running away from fights the entire time. Mona said, how dare you? Kaba exclaimed. I don't know why I'm wasting time with a bunch of cowards. I'll end you, that sucker punching Saiyan, and then those two girls. None of you are worth my time, Mona said. Don't you dare call us unworthy. We are Saiyans, the strongest species alive. Do not talk down on us, Kaba exclaimed. He was going in and out of Super Saiyan and finally let out a scream, powering up. He finally reached his breaking point and ascended to Super Saiyan 2. Is changing your hair color supposed to scare me? Mona asked. As soon as she was done talking, Kaba punched her in the gut and gave her an uppercut. Alright, now I'm pissed off. I'll flatten you, you damn brat, Mona said. She started spinning and jumped in the air, going to flatten him. Kaba countered with a blast. He was struggling to keep her at bay. He dug deep and eliminated her after he added more power to his attack. Stance. Mona of the 4th universe has been eliminated. The Grand Priest announced, I'm not mad at you. Just disappointed. Quitella said, woohoo. Way to go, Kaba. As long as you listen to me, you can eliminate anybody. Champa said, Lord Champa, wasn't it you who told him to go run and hide? Vados asked, fighting area, that's more like it. Now to the more important issue. How long does Jiren intend to wait to make his next move? That Nar person is just as strong. I should hunt him down as well. I need to put these people in their place and show them who the strongest in this tournament actually is. Vegeta said, you'll have to get through me to face Jiren. Toppo said, appearing before Vegeta. I don't waste my time dealing with second strings. Vegeta said, you're second on your own team, so you have no place to talk. Top said, oh, shut it, Mr. Mustache. Why don't you come find out for yourself? Vegeta said, powering up to Super Saiyan Blue. Kaba was walking around in the tournament looking for his remaining teammates. I just hope Kale and Caulifla are still okay. He said, haha. Frieza laughed and Kaba looked to his right. It's you. Kaba said, greetings, monkey. You seem to be a worthy adversary. I would love to have the honor of a fight if you'd oblige. Frieza said, all right, you got it. Kaba said, getting in his stance. Feel free to attack any way you see fit. Frieza said. Kaba ran forward and let out a multitude of punches at Frieza that he easily blocked. Frieza just smiled and kicked Kaba away into a boulder, making him cough up spit. I'll have to be honest. While I do respect strong fighters, there's nothing I hate more than a monkey. After I rid this ring of your vile essence, I'm going to play with your Saiyan sisters. That should be a bit of fun, Frieza said, holding Kaba by the face. What? Kaba said and powered up to Super Saiyan 2 and Frieza jumped back. I'm not going to let you terrorize them. There's no way. We're the ones who are going to win this, Kaba said and fired a powerful energy blast at Frieza. I know that blast connected. Kaba said, breathing heavy. He was then hit with a barrage of energy blasts from the smoke. He fell to the ground and his Super Saiyan 2 wore out. Use what little brains you have and surrender. Frieza said in his golden form. I'll never surrender again. I'll keep fighting until the end. Kaba said, laying on the ground. That's too bad. Your end is now. Goodbye, you stupid monkey. Frieza said and blasted Kaba out of the ring. It would have been beneath me to waste any more energy on you. Frieza said, then how about me? Nar said as he walked in front of Frieza. I would love to stay and fight, but I have more important things to do. Frieza said and walked away. Nar appeared in front of him though. No, I insist that we fight, he said and punched Frieza in the gut. Stance, Kaba from Universe 6 has been eliminated, the Grand Priest announced. He waited until Kaba was tired and cornered him. That weasel Champa said, you should relax, my lord. It's not good for your health. After all, it appears Frieza's time in the tournament is about to run out. It appears Naruto is making his move. Vados said, point at Nar who they saw punch Frieza in the gut. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Nar, hurry up and take him out. You still have Jiren to fight later on. Champa said, Lord Beerus, it appears that we get to see Nar in action again. I doubt he'll go all out, but we can get a better glimpse of his power. Whis said, yes, I know. We might be able to think of a strategy to take him out. Hey, Frieza, you better not lose to him. We didn't bring you back from hell just to lose. Beerus said, fighting area. Quite the cheerleader you have up there. Your universe must have been desperate for fighters if they had to go all the way to hell to find you. Nar said, shut up, you stupid monkey. After this is over, you will bow to me like a loyal subject and will call me Emperor Frieza. Frieza said standing up, I don't bow to anyone. Now, let's fight. I believe you insulted my friend earlier. It's time to pay. Nar said they ran at each other and met in the middle with their fists clashing. They met in the middle and Nar had a smirk on his face while Frieza looked agitated. Frieza broke the struggle between them and tried to use his tail to strangle Nar. It didn't work because Nar grabbed his tail and swung him around in the air before slamming him into the ground. Frieza quickly recovered and they began trading punches and kicks all around the arena, creating craters from the shock waves that were being made from the force of their attacks. They parted and Frieza looked the worst. He was covered in cuts and bruises while Naruto was perfectly fine. I will not be made a fool of by some monkey from a different universe. Frieza said. He powered up and went golden. Now prepare yourself for the might of Golden Frieza. He said, Golden Frieza, you say nice transformation. And I can feel the power from your new form and it's quite nice. Sadly, it won't be enough, Nar said as he powered up to Super Saiyan. So, what if you've transformed? I've dealt with the Super Saiyan powers for many years now. I know how to deal with its powers, Frieza said as he rushed forward. You may have dealt with the Saiyans from Universe 7 and Kaba, but I'm not like them. I've actually mastered all of my transformations. So, the limitations I should feel from them doesn't bother me. Nar said as he grabbed Frieza's punch. Frieza pulled back, shot an energy blast from his finger, and Nar ducked out of the way. He kicked Frieza's feet from underneath him, and gave an axe kick to Frieza's gut, knocking the wind out of him. He shot multiple energy blasts at Frieza from point-blank range, and all of them connected. Once the dust cleared, Frieza was on the ground, seriously wounded, and he was out of his golden form. Nar just looked at him and shook his head. I really hope that wasn't the best you can do. I didn't even break a sweat, Nar said. Frieza heard him and shot multiple energy blasts from his finger at Nar. He fired away like he was trying to kill Nar and didn't let up for about 30 seconds. That will teach you to mock me, you stupid ape. Listen and listen closely. I am Emperor Frieza of the 7th universe. You will bow down to me like your ancestors of the 7th did before I killed them off. Frieza said. Don't think so, Nar said. He sent a powerful energy blast out of the smoke, sending Frieza over the edge of the ring, but he managed to hold on to the ledge and not fall over. The smoke cleared and Nar was standing there unharmed. How are you not harmed? Frieza asked. Did you honestly think someone stronger than 10 or 11 of the 12 gods of destruction would really fall to someone like you? If you did, then you must be even more stupid than the Saiyan Goku on your team. Nar said. Do not mock me, you filthy ape. Frieza said and created a huge reddish-orange attack in his hands. This attack has enough power to destroy a planet. Now die, you stupid monkey, and burn in hell. Frieza said. He threw the attack at Naruto, who just stood there and let the attack get close to him. Nar held up one hand and punched the attack back at Frieza, who dodged it, but didn't have enough time to dodge Naruto, who hit him with an elbow to the face and kicked him into a rock. Nar appeared in front of Frieza in a boxing stance and just used him as his personal punching bag. He gave Frieza multiple punches to the ribs, chest, face, and gut. By the time he was finished, Frieza was barely recognizable. His body was purple, blue, and red from the bruises, and his face was swollen. Nar decided to finish it and picked him up over his shoulders and just dumped him over the edge. Well, that's another elimination for me, Nar said. He stood there and then jumped out of the way. He sensed something coming up fast behind him and then noticed something standing on the edge. The dust in the area covered it and revealed some kind of chameleon. He wasted no time and gave it a quick energy blast, sending it over the edge as well. Camouflage, nice strategy, but you should have stayed away from the dirt. Nar said. Stance. Frieza of Universe 7 has been eliminated and Gamesaras of Universe 4 have been eliminated. The Grand Priest said. Whoa, he's strong. Krillin said as he gave Frieza a Senzu bean. Yeah, I know. He made Frieza look like a rookie. Tien said. Way to go, Nar. Kaba said. Wuya, that's how you handle business. Champa said. Yes, he performed quite well, Lord Champa. I am pleased as well. Vados said. Oh, come on, Vados. You can show a little more enthusiasm for someone you allow to call you mom. Champa said. Yes, my dear sister. Go ahead and cheer for your son. Mixerida said in amusement. I think he's kind of cute. Cuss said. Oh, you're only saying that because of him calling you cute at the Xeno Expo. Vados said. Ladies, if you don't mind, we do have a tournament to watch. Quitella said. Ah, he's just mad because he lost another fighter. Champa said. Yes, I believe you have 2 more fighters left before you lose. Beerus said. At least I'm not like Universe 11 who only has 3 fighters left. Quitella replied. We may have only 3 fighters left, but our final 3 fighters are the strongest in my universe. Toppo happens to be a candidate for the next god of destruction. I have nothing to worry about, Belmont said. Except for that handsome Naruto fighter. While I admit his fighting style is a bit brutal at times, I cannot deny the fact that he is a handsome man. He would fit wonderfully in my universe. We would then be able to spread our love farther than we could imagine. Helios said with sparkles in her eyes. Fighting area. Naruto walked to check on Kale and Caulifla's fight with Goku. He knew they already used their secret weapon because he could feel that same energy from Goku again. He made it to the area and instantly regretted coming over the fighter that was the fusion of Kale and Caulifla as he heard the fighters call her Kefla and she was going crazy right about now. Yep, seems about right. You add the power of Kale with the attitude and temper of Caulifla and this is what I imagined would happen, he thought. He jumped out of the way of a stray laser-like energy beam from Kefla and just watched as she gathered all of her energy in her hands. She shot a huge energy blast towards Goku, who was using Ultra Instinct. Naruto watched as Goku slid on her attack with his own and fired a point-blank Kamehameha at Kefla, sending her out of the ring stance. Kale and Caulifla of Universe 6 have been eliminated. The Grand Priest spoke. Hey, what the hell, man? Goku, when I see you again, I'm going to kick your do you hear me? Caulifla said while Kaba was holding her back. Supreme Kafua Lord Champi failed you. I'm sorry. Kale said, do not worry, Kale. We still have a chance to win. We still have Naron and Piana fighting for us. Vados said, hey, Son and Piana, don't lose or I'm going to kick both of your asses. You hear me? Khalifla said, Khalifla, I think you're forgetting about Naruto. Kaba said, shut up. No, I didn't. I can care less about what he does. Khalifla said, pushing past Kaba so she could sit next to Kale. You promised you would be nicer, Khalifla. Kale said, yeah, whatever. I tried and it didn't work. Just drop it, Kale. Me and Nar will never be friends again. Khalifla said. Kale didn't respond. She just sighed. You can do it, Nar. Kale thought he won. Man, that was close. Goku had me worried for a second. Krillin said, given the circumstances, Goku made a wise choice. With his Ultra Instinct running out, he focused all of his power into that Kamehameha. Whis said, I doubt he'll be able to use that trick again with Naruto and Jiren still in the tournament. Roshi said, you're right, Master Roshi. If only Goku could attack while using Ultra Instinct. Tien said, that is the hard part of Ultra Instinct. Every skilled martial artist thinks a lot during battle, looking for weakness and coming up with the best assault. Goku's attacks were still not good enough because he was still trying to command his body to attack. Whis said, so, if Goku could somehow manage to not think while using Ultra Instinct, we could have a better chance at winning. Tien asked, yes, we would. However, we will not be seeing Ultra Instinct again during this tournament, I'm afraid. Whis said, why not Whis? Beerus asked. Because he's about to be eliminated. Whis said, pointing at Naruto, who was walking up to Goku fighting area. Goku fell down to one knee, breathing heavy as his Ultra Instinct wore off. He grabbed his chest in pain from the strain Ultra Instinct was doing to his body. I can't hold that form anymore. I feel like I'm out of energy. I need to rest up before I fight again, Goku said. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to rest on the bleachers. Nar said. Goku stood up to his feet. Although he was wobbling, he managed to get into a fighting form. Nar just stared at him with an amused look on his face. You've got guts. I can tell you that. But it's pointless. Unlike Jiren, I'm not going to toy around with you. And like Kefla did, I'm not going to get arrogant. Nar said before Goku could respond. Nar was already in front of him and elbowed him right in the gut. Goku coughed up blood and didn't have a chance for Naruto's next move. Nar did a break dance and kicked Goku's legs from underneath him. Nar, still break dancing, used the momentum he had and turned it into a heel kick right into Goku's stomach. Goku was in so much pain that he couldn't even scream out in pain. Goku saw a split opening and managed to kick Nar away and fire some energy blasts at him. Goku powered up as much as possible and was barely able to turn Super Saiyan. He charged at Nar with a punch only to have it blocked and get punched in the face. Goku recovered quickly and sent a kick at Naruto's head. Nar grabbed his ankle and started slamming Goku into the ground and swinging him in the air before slamming him one last time. He slammed Goku so hard that he bounced off the ground. So Naruto grabbed him by the back of his head and dragged his face into some boulders and you could see how far he dragged him. By the time this was over, Goku fell out of his Super Saiyan state and was barely conscious. Nar dropped Goku to the ground and kicked him towards the edge of the ring. Goku managed to stop in time, but it was for turned around and saw Nar with a strong energy blast pointed right at him. Goodbye Goku, Naruto said and blasted Goku out of the ring. Everyone from Universe 7 was shocked and worried since Goku was eliminated. Stance. Goku from Universe 7 has been eliminated. The Grand Priest said. Goku appeared on the bench unconscious and Krillin quickly fed him a senzu bean. They watched as Goku's injuries healed up and he finally woke up. What happened? He asked. Sorry to tell you this, buddy, but you've been eliminated. Krillin said. Goku went silent and Krillin decided to give him some time to himself. He knew Goku was depressed and upset. After a few seconds, Goku spoke up. Damn it. If only I had enough power left, I could have fought him. Goku said as he punched to the ground. Do not worry, Goku. You performed well. We still have Vegeta and your son in the tournament. If anything, your elimination will push them to fight harder. Whis said, yeah, Goku, it's going to be alright. You can't win every fight in life. You just learn from it and move on. Roshi said, Whis, should we begin to worry now? Beerus asked in a calm voice. I'm afraid so. Goku was our best fighter and strongest fighter. With him gone, our elimination is almost undeniable at this point. Whis said, Wise, you're wrong. I'm not the strongest fighter on the team. Goku said, what do you mean? I trained you personally before the tournament started. I know you're the strongest. If it isn't you, then who is it? Whis asked. It's Gohan. You all may not have noticed, but he's holding back a huge amount of power. After I fought him back on Earth, nobody saw him for a whole day until we had to leave for the tournament. My guess is that he spent that day in the hyperbolic time chamber. Goku said, surely you're joking, Goku. No offense, but Gohan has been making rookie mistakes all tournament, resulting in him facing close eliminations. Whis said that's because he hasn't fought in a few years. After the whole Majin Buu problem, he stopped training and focused on school. When Frieza returned, that's the first time he's actually fought. He's a lot stronger than me, and this tournament will help him bring out his true potential. I don't know if it's going to be enough to face Jiren or Nar, but it's a better chance than I could have given the team. Goku said. Beerus was about to respond to Goku, but then Caulifla started yelling. What the hell? He can't just come in and steal my elimination. Hey Nar, that elimination belongs to me. I did all of the work, not you. Caulifla said, perhaps you should calm down, Caulifla. Kaba said, I am calm, she exclaimed unintentionally, turning Super Saiyan. Okay. Yeah, sure if you say so. Kaba said, backing away. You know, Caulifla, you should really let your anger towards Naruto go. It's not good to keep that anger bottled up inside you. Perhaps after this tournament is over, and if we win, I can have you two sit down and talk to each other. Vados said, I have nothing to say to him. I liked it better when I thought he was dead. Caulifla said, I doubt that is true, but I will not talk about the matter anymore. Bad said. Caulifla Kale said, I'm sorry, Kale, but it's not happening now. Drop it. Caulifla said, fighting area. While all of that was going on, Naruto was looking up at the Omni Kings and noticed something, so he decided to speak on it. Hey, Zeno, I know you're friends with Goku, but he's eliminated. I didn't see you mark him off of your little chart. You can't play favorites now since he's gone. If you don't want to mark him off as eliminated, then I'm bringing it back into the fight. Nar said the Omni Kings didn't say anything. They really didn't want to mark Goku off. They were really looking forward to seeing him fight again. He is right, my lords. Rules are rules. You have to follow them, I'm afraid. The Grand Priest said. The Omni Kings looked at each other and then made the move. Bye-bye, Goku. They said at the same time as they marked him off. Thanks, Nar said. He walked off, but he didn't get far as he caught something that was coming towards him. He held it between his fingers and looked at it closely. It was a small green bug-looking fighter. I take it you're one of the last few fighters for Universe 4. He said hey put me down so I can kick you. The bug creature said sorry no can do. Nar said and threw him out of the ring stance. Damon of Universe 4 has been eliminated. The Grand Priest said holy crap how many eliminations does he have? Krillin asked I believe that was elimination number 12 for him. Whis said, seriously, he's taken out 15% of the competition himself. Krillin said, yes, he's been eliminating fighters a lot. Most of them came in the first few minutes when he single-handedly took out 5 members of Universe 9. Whis said, fighting area. Nar was getting bored now. He wasn't running into anybody strong enough to lose as a challenge to him. He looked up and saw Android 18 eliminate Ryan. He looked in the stands and noticed Krillin talking to 18 and they were laughing and cheering with each other. He looked over to where his universe was sitting and made eye contact with Kale who blushed and waved at him. He didn't wave back but simply walked away with a small smile on her face. Helios saw the interaction between the two and smiled. She was the goddess that loved beauty and wanted to spread love. She instantly knew Kale and Nar would be together forever. Who to fight now? He asked out loud. How about we fight you? A voice said. He looked up and 3 people landed in front of him. We are the last members of Universe 2 and we shall use our love to defeat you. One of them said. Nar just stood there with a curious look on his face. He didn't know who they were, but they piqued his interest. So, who are you? He asked. I'm Zerloin, a very large and muscular human-looking male with blue skin and red eyes said. I'm Rabanra, a human-looking figure with the top part of his body a dark orange and his legs a dark blue pointed ears and a green dome on his forehead said. And I am known as Zerudo. An old man with a white mustache and his clad in a red suit and white cap said. Okay, so are you sure you want to fight me? Naro asked and all 3 of them nodded. We have our orders take you out since you are a threat to our universe winning this tournament. Zerloin said, our beautiful maiden Rian is counting us to defend the love of Universe 2 and that is what we shall do. Zarbuto said, okay. Nar said and kicked Rabanra away. Zerloin and Zarbuto charged at Naruto and he began blocking both of their attacks. Rabanra joined back in and also started attacking Nar. Nar managed to kick Zerloin away and focused on Rabanra and Zarbuto. We are now the last hope for Universe 2, Rabanra said as he was throwing punches at Nar. We no longer need to be beautiful as we usually are. Even if we are battered and mocked for being Ungai Nanely, Zarbuto said, punching at Nar as well. We fight to the end for love, Zerloin said, coming down with a double overhead strike. Nar blasted them all away with his power and just looked at them. He had to admit these guys were actually good stands, man. Look at him. He's not even tired yet. And now he's taking on 3 people from the second universe. Tien said, I know. It seems Lord Champa was not lying about the strength of Nar. Whis said, the second universe has lost their best fighter and are now down to 3. They're in a real tough spot now. Champa said, Vados wanted to say something, but she just looked at him with a smile on her face. He sensed her looking at him, immediately turned around. Yes, Vados, I do have eyes, and I know we're in the same predicament. So, can you please stop nagging me already? He exclaimed. Come on, get fired up and find a way. See, hyena, I swear if you don't do something, I'm going to kick both of your asses. Caulifla said, fighting area. No matter how many times you knock us down, we will always get back up. Zarbuto said as he began to glow. Do you hear that? Zerloin asked Rabanra. Oh yeah, I can hear it. All right. The voices of our people cheering for our victory. Rabanra said, stands. That's right. They're here. Feel it. Feel the love of the second universe behind you as you fight. Rian said, oh, what the hell is going on? Champa asked. Fighting area. I feel it. I feel the love, the wishes of everyone. It's resting on our shoulders. Zarbuto said, still glowing. Yes, it's almost too much for me to handle. But there is strength in that burden as well. I can't let them down. We've come so far in this tournament to lose now, Rabanra said, glowing as well. We must channel this love and turn it into power. We are the maidens warriors of love. We will not fail, Zerloin said. And they all were completely covered in the pink glow. Love, 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 love. All 3 of them chanted. And then a bright light was seen coming from all of them. They began to transform inside of the light and everyone was waiting to see what happened. Take formation. Zerloin. 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 Zerloin said as he got in his stance. Raben. Rabanra. Rabanra said. Zarbuto. Zab. Zarbuto. Zarbuto said happiness to one and all. I send you my love. Zerloin said he was somehow wearing the same clothes as Ryrion. The thunder of the wild and roar of love. Rabanra said wearing the same clothes. Kochansa wore and his skin turned light blue. The strike of love with dreams and magic. Zarbuto said wearing the same clothes Rosie wore. Transformation complete. All 3 of them said at the same time stands. They've transformed just like the maidens. Peru said these are the miracles that only the heart can make possible. New beauties are born by the power of love. Helis said fighting area. What the hell did I just witness? Nar asked himself. You fight full of hatred and that cannot prevail. Zerloin said at last you will get the judgment you deserve. Rabanra said we will strike you all at once. Zarbuto said with the hammer fist of love. Zerloin said I guess I can play around. Prepare for the handsome Saiyan of Universe 6 Nar. I am the toughest son of a you will find in all of the cosmos. Prepare to be vanquished by my unmatched fury. Nar said getting in a superhero pose. Stand. Everyone in Universe 6 had their jaws on the ground except for Bados and Hit. Bados was cursing Nar out in her mind without using bad words of course. Hit meanwhile only had an eye twitch show his annoyance. What the hell was that? Champa asked. I told you all he would turn on us. He switched to Universe 2. Caulifla said no he isn't Caulifla. Kaba said, well, I guess he's certainly in the spirit of things. Krillin said, yeah, I know. For someone as powerful and ruthless as him, he certainly is acting a bit immature. Vados, do you know why he's doing that? Whis asked. Yes, I do. Nar was exiled from Sadala as a kid at the age of 7. He spent the majority of his childhood by himself. He was friends with Kale and Caulifla, but something happened between them and then the friendship ended. So any chance he gets to act like a kid, he doesn't let it go by. It's his own way of coping with things. You should see him and Champa having their little arguments. Vados said, if he was friends with Kale and Caulifla, why is it so much blood between him and Caulifla? Krillin asked. It's not my story to tell. Vados said she looked at Caulifla who just rolled her eyes and looked away. So why was he exiled then? Can you tell us that? Tien asked. Unfortunately, I can't. I had to promise him that I wouldn't tell anybody. A lot of the things he told me that had happened to him and that he had to do really aren't pretty at all. I know I'm hard on him sometimes, but the majority of the time he has his moments where he just wants to be left alone. As my brothers and sisters can verify, an angel breaking a promise is one of the first things that can make an angel lose their status. If anything is to be spoken of, then it will have to be from Naruto himself. Vados said let's just watch the fights now. Caulifla said fighting area here we come foul villain. Zerloin said we shall win this contest. Rabanra said fueled by love. Zarbuto said universe attack. All three of them said together and ran at Nar. I'm really getting into this fight. Nar said and met them in the middle. They began trading blows left and right. Nar smiled and picked up the pace. He started attacking them at a much quicker and faster pace until he managed to kick them all away. All three of them came flying at him with a kick. He pushed them back with just his power and they landed up high on a boulder preparing their next attack. Well fought, 6th Universe. Your strength has held up well against our power of love and passion. Zerloin said, since you've been pushing us so far this fight, we shall push our energy to the maximum. Rabanra said, you have withstood a lot, but try to withstand this. Zarbuto said, we're sending you our feelings. Love, they all said and created a black heart in the air. Stance. Oh my, is it possible? Helis said, what is that thing? Krillin asked as he watched Nar shoot an energy blast at it, and it was absorbed. It is most likely a gravitational singularity. Taking what they call the weight of their love and concentrating it into a single point in space. Whis said that's the elusive technique not even Ririon or the maidens could achieve. Love can be all-consuming. It can paralyze and torment us with its intensity. As long those who master love can control its weight and unleash this mysterious attack. Helis said, fighting area pretty black hole. All three of them said. Naruto tried to move out of the way, but he was sucked into the black hole. He tried to escape with instant transmission, but had no luck. Look at that. Not even light can escape our love prison. Zarbuto said, it's so heavy that not even the ring can hold it. It's going to keep sinking layer by layer until it crashes through the bottom. Rabanra said, our love has trapped you, Naruto of the 6th Universe. It will pull you down to defeat. Zerloin said, not bad, you three. I must say I'm extremely impressed that you were able to pull off such an attack. You guys are full of surprises. All that talk about love, I can actually understand it. Nar said, you say you understand it, yet you are unable to counter our attack. Rabanra said, you say you know love and you understand it, however you do not. Your words of trickery will not work on us. Zerloin said, well, you do have me there. I don't understand love, but then again, who does? Nobody can completely understand something that's different for everybody. But I'll tell you this. I met this girl 4 years ago. She's the sweetest girl I have ever met in my life. I visited her as much as I could over the past almost 5 years. We grew extremely close and she counts on me to keep her safe. I may not understand your version of love, but I do understand my own. That girl means the world to me and I will do anything to protect her. I promised I would see her after this tournament is over, and I'm not breaking that promise. I won't let her down, he yelled and powered up to Super Saiyan 2, preparing to counter. He stretched his hands out to his sides and gathered a lot of energy. He placed his hands in front him and fired his attack. Majestic Destroyer Cannon, he said. The rainbow-colored drill-like attack at first went out in a wobbly motion. But as soon as it made contact with the final layer of the black hole, it began to crack through the black hole. Unknown to Nar, this was an extremely important fight for Universe 2, 6, and 7. Ciel and Piana were in a power struggle against Piccolo and Gohan. That was an important battle because with Goku out of the tournament, Universe 7 needed Gohan and Piccolo. All three universes at risk were watching intently. Universe 2 had pink wands and were holding them in their hands, praying that they won. I can't let her down. Not now, not ever, Nar thought. With one final push, Naruto's attack blasted through the black hole and took out the last 3 remaining members of Universe 2. Coincidentally, on the other side, the power struggle between Saiyan, Piana, Gohan, and Piccolo ended with Saiyan and Piana losing. Stance. Saiyan and Piana of Universe 6 have been eliminated. And Zerloin, Zarbuto, and Rabanra of Universe 2 have been eliminated. That means Universe 2 shall be terminated. The Grand Priest said, you three did well. You should be proud. You showed our people your love and all its brilliance. Peru said, if we cannot escape this fate, let us face it together with courage and most importantly with beauty. Helis said, formation, Ryan, Rosie, and Kochansa said, and transformed. Thank you. Thanks to each and every one of you out there who cheered us on. Rybrand said, the second universe may cease to exist, but true love never dies and will live in your heart forever. Koawansa said, as we face this last moment, we will face it with our normal goodbye. Ready, set, Rosie said, love. They all shouted together and we erased. Oh dear, how can this be? We're down to one last competitor. Vados said, hey, what are you worried about, Vados? We still have Nar as our last fighter. Well be fine. Champa said, yes, I know, but I fear that the other universes will gang up on him now. Vados said, I'm sorry, Caulifla. I guess we lost. Sional said, yeah, I guess you still want to kick our asses now, huh? Hyena said, of course I am. Caulifla said before she could act. Kaba spoke up. Holy, he said. What is it, Kaba? Caulifla asked. Look at Nar. He isn't a Super Saiyan 2 anymore. Kaba said. She looked and there stood Nar in his Super Saiyan 3 form and then dropped it. Holy, he's a Super Saiyan 3. What the hell is going on? How come he's a Super Saiyan 3 and I'm not? Caulifla asked. That's because Nar has been able to go Super Saiyan since he was about 7. At the age of 11, he became a Super Saiyan 2 after he heard the news of a Dr. Venus being murdered. At the age of I'd say 17, he discovered Super Saiyan 3. His training regime is brutal. He actually said he can go Super Saiyan Blue as well, but the speed decrease would go against his fighting style. Vados said, wait, so you're telling me he's been holding back strength this entire tournament? Who was his teacher before you started to train him? Krillin asked. Nobody. He trained himself and got this strong by himself. He would literally train until he was an inch away from death every day. Vados said, wow, and I thought Vegeta trained crazy. This guy takes the cake on that one. Goku said, let's not lose focus. We still have a tournament to watch. Whis said. They all nodded and turned back to the fighting arena fighting area. Nar was walking around when he spotted the final member of Universe 4. Well, what do we have here? It seems Universe 4 has a little stray. Now, I'll give you two options. Either throw yourself over the edge or I'll blast you over the edge. Your choice, Nar said. The last member of Universe 4 looked up at Quitella, who gave him a look that said he better fight. Nar knew this person wasn't a fighter, so he wasn't going to waste energy on him. He just picked the person up and threw him out of the ring. Stands. Shua of Universe 4 has been eliminated. Therefore, Universe 4 shall be obliterated. The Grand Priest said by both Zeno said at the same time and erased Universe 4. Well, that makes 16 eliminations for Nar. Vados said that's 20% of the fighters taken out himself. Kaba said, I know, and we haven't seen anything yet. I'm waiting for him to fight Jiren. It seems Belmont can't wait for that fight either. Champa said looking at Belmont who had a serious look on his face. Yo clown face, what's the matter? I heard you talking loud and clear earlier. How come I don't hear you now? Caulifla taunted. Don't worry, little girl. I'm not worried about your friend. I'm curious to know if Topo will show his true power. Belmont said, how many times do I have to say this? He is not my friend. Caulifla said, hey, look, Universe 3 is making their move. Kaba said, making sure a fight doesn't break out. Fighting area. Nar was standing on top of a boulder watching as Vegeta eliminated that annoying fighter from Universe 3. Then went to help Gohan and Piccolo. He saw Gohan step forward and decide to take on 4 of the remaining 5 members from Universe 3 himself. He was doing good. Even when the 3 robots combined, everything went wrong when Gohan lost his footing, causing Vegeta and Piccolo to step in. He's still rusty. He needs to relax and stop trying to fight like his father. Nar said, yeah, I know. He should have been defeated then. Nar turned around and saw 17 and 18 standing there. Oh, hey guys. So, what are you doing here? Nar asked, well, we were going to ambush you. 18 said, but we decided to watch and see how Gohan was doing. We've taken out their other fighters, so it's just those 4 left. 17 said, we heard he had a fight with his father and made him go blue, but was still able to keep up with him. 18 said he took a full-powered blow from Goku and was still able to throw an attack back at Goku, but passed out before it could connect. 17 said, so, we just want to know if he's gotten any stronger since he has an incredible growth rate not matched by anybody in our universe. 18 said, that's weird how you both just finished each other's sentences. Anyway, he needs a certain fight to push him past his limits. Right now, I would say he can fight Goku while using Super Saiyan Blue Koken X times 10 on even grounds. He's holding himself back by having self-doubt and fighting completely different than how he usually does. Before this tournament is over, he just may surpass his father. Nar said they looked back at the fight and saw Gohan take out the combined robots with a powerful Kamehameha. Things turned ugly when the 3 combined robots merged with the only flesh teammate remaining from their team. They created some kind of huge android with a body with white layers on the skin on its head, neck, shoulders, and chest area. In the center of its forehead is a large red gem which acts as its energy core. On both sides of his head are 2 elongated ear extensions with green gems underneath the tips. Its arms and the rest of its body is a darker color ending at the base of the legs. The legs before the boots and hands at the base of the arm guards are purple. Its arms possess white shoulder guards with red gems on the top of the arms. In the center of its chest is a green gem stance. What the hell is that? Champa asked. That is Anala, the ultimate weapon of Universe 3. Ah said, so your ultimate weapon is a mindless beast. What's so great about it? Belmont asked. Analyza has the ability to bend space by sheer force for an onslaught of attacks, and he can deflect any attack thrown at him because of the energy reactor on his head. Those are just two of his abilities. Not even Jiren or Naruto can stand up to him. Ah said, looks like we're about to find out if one of them can stand up to this Anala. Whis said, what do you mean Whis? Tien asked. Simple. Naruto's about to challenge Anala. I wonder if he'll show his true strength. While he was in his Super Saiyan 3 transformation, I can tell he was still holding back a lot of power. Beerus said, are you serious? The power I felt from him was a lot stronger than me in Super Saiyan Blue Kaukan X20. He's really that strong? Goku asked. Yes, he is. Nar has only gone all out against me in his weekly spars. I must say each time he impresses me more and more. If he does in fact fight Jiren, then this will be a fight that would put some of the gods to shame. Vados said, fighting area. Nar stood by and watched as Anala dismantled the remaining Universe 7 fighters with ease. They were all standing back up when Nar arrived in front of them. What the hell do you think you're doing? Vegeta asked. I'm going to fight the big guy. Nar said, oh, please, as if somebody like you can defeat this thing by yourself. You may as well step aside and let the Prince of all Saiyans handle this. Vegeta said, Vegeta, perhaps we should let him fight. Think about it this way. They could possibly take each other out, leaving us with the remaining 3 from Universe 11. Me and you are the strongest remaining on our team, so we can take Jiren while the others take on Toppo and Disso. Even if we don't win, we still have numbers, so we can win if time runs out, as long as nobody gets eliminated. Gohan said, very well. I'll accept those terms. However, I will be fighting Jiren alone, he's mine. Just because he kicked Kakarots doesn't mean he can do the same to me. Vegeta said, you do realize Goku's stronger than you, right? Nar said, he is not stronger than me. Vegeta said, if you say so. Nar said. Nar looked at Anala, and he was flying with wings he grew from his back. Anala raised his hands and created a large attack. Nar powered up to Super Saiyan and prepared his own attack. Analyza threw his attack and Nurad fired off his. Both met in the middle and the struggle began. Stance. It's no use for him to try and compete with Anala. The energy reactor on his head will be able to match any amount of power Nar puts into his attack. Universe 6 is as good as gone. Ah said, damn it, Nar, what the hell are you thinking? You idiot. Now we're going to lose. Caulifla said, don't be so sure, Caulifla. Nar would only do this if he had a plan. So, let's be patient and watch. Vados said, fighting area, so you can adapt to any amount of power I use. Let's test it out, shall we? Nar said. He powered up to his full-powered Super Saiyan form, and the energy reactor on Anala started to glow, increasing the size of his attack. Nar didn't back down. He powered up to Super Saiyan 2 at its fullest power and noticed the energy reactor cracked a bit, but the attack still grew. I can see that your reactor can't keep up. Come on now, let's keep this going. I'm sure my power shouldn't be a problem for you. Nar said, woohoo, go on, Nar. Show that so-called ultimate weapon who it's dealing with. Champa said, do it, Nar. Kaba said. Caulifla, although she didn't express it, was cheering for Naruto on the inside. Kale, on the other hand, wasn't even paying attention to what was going on. She's been spacing out ever since Nar eliminated Universe 2 fighting area. I can't believe it. He's actually going to win using his energy reactor against him. 18 said. Nar powered up again to Super Saiyan 3, but didn't need to use the full extent of his power in that form. The energy reactor on Analyza of course reacted to the power Naruto was putting out. This time though, the energy Naruto put out was too much and the reactor shattered from not being able to keep up with the power stance. No. How could this happen? Analyza is supposed to be great. Ah said, finish it off, Nar. Champa said, knock him off the edge. Kaba said, kick his. Champa yelled. Kale this time still didn't say anything. She looked as if she was in deep thought and wasn't paying attention to the fight. Vados noticed this but didn't say anything. Fighting area. Oh hell yeah, Nar yelled. He let out one final push and his attack tore through Anals and sent him over the edge, eliminating him. Nar powered down and then ducked out of the way from Piccolo's outstretched arm. He appeared in front of Piccolo in a quick burst of speed and shook his head. This is the thanks I get for saving your asses. Oh well, goodbye Piccolo. He said and blasted Piccolo out of the ring. Stance. Beretta, Paparoni, Panchia, and Kitsukai of Universe 3 have been eliminated. Piccolo of Universe 7 has been eliminated. This means Universe 3 shall be eliminated. The Grand Priest said, I'm sorry, Lord Moscow. Please forgive us. Paparoni said, it's okay, Paparoni. It might not have gone the way we would have liked, but you all performed well and that's all we could ask for. Let's just accept our fate. No regrets are needed. Ah said just then the robot suit Moso was in opened up and he stepped out. Thank you for everything you've done, Carrie. I really appreciate it. Bye. Moscow said, and they were all erased. He came out in the end. I can't help but have nothing other than respect for him. Carrie said 3 universes remain with Universe 6 having only one remaining fighter. Eric said yes I know with Jiren remaining as well as Topo who is being groomed to become the next god of destruction. I don't see how he can win this. Likier said this tournament has been quite interesting. Although I'm a bit disappointed Jiren didn't participate more. Nar has been exceptional. Jin said Lord Champa how impressed are you with Nar and his performance? Vados asked, I'm more impressed than I thought I would be. I thought he would come and do what Jiren's doing. Champa said, so, we have to put all of our faith in Naruto. Kaba asked, yes, we do. Hit said, well, I don't like it. I would rather lose than have to count on him. Khalifla said, well, that's too bad, little girl. If you didn't want to count on him, you shouldn't have been eliminated. Now, sit back and watch the fight. Hit said, I'm not doing a damn thing you tell me to do. Khalifla said, Chalifla, shut up. Kale exclaimed and everyone was surprised. Kale, I was just being honest. Khalifla said, I don't care. Just shut up, please. Kale yelled and then placed her head in her hands. Mom, can you hear me? Nar spoke telepathically to Vados. Yes, Nar, I can hear you. What do you need? Vados asked. Can you check on Kale for me? As I'm sure you've noticed already, she's being more quiet than usual. Plus, that outburst of hers only happens when she's agitated. Find out what's wrong with her for me, please. Nar replied, sure, I'll ask her. Now, focus on the tournament. You're the universe's last hope. Good luck, son. Vados replied. She was more confident in their victory now that he's taken out 3 universes basically by himself. The only thing she was worried about was the threat of Jiren being around and the fact that he might get ganged up on fighting area. Nar, after talking to Vados, went over to where the other 2 universes were having a stare-off. He was on top of a tall boulder and just sat there with an elbow on his knee and his chin resting on his hand. He decided to watch and listen to what they had to say. I guess having Nar take out Analaza was a good plan, Gohan. Too bad they couldn't take each other out. 17 said, yeah, I know. We should probably team up to take him out. 18 said, no, it would have to be me and Vegeta to take him out. Same goes for Jiren. Gohan said, I'm not taking orders anymore. You may be the leader of this team, but you will not give me orders anymore. I'm taking on Jiren, and then I'll take on Nar. Vegeta said Gohan was going to respond, but that's when Universe 11 made their presence be known. It looks like you're done talking finally. No matter what plan you come up with, it won't work. Dispo said. So, you finally decided to show your faces. I was beginning to think you were too chicken to fight since all you did was hide for the entire tournament. Vegeta said, tell me, how did the last victory you'll ever experience feel? You can try all you want, but like Goku, you will fail against me. Jiren said, we haven't lost yet, so we wouldn't know how a last victory tastes, but you will know what it's like soon enough. Gohan said, seriously, nobody said anything and just stared at each other. Nar was just sitting on top of the boulder, still watching for who would make the next move. The tension in the air between the 2 universes was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Everybody knew one thing, though. One of these 3 universes will be victorious. And right now, Universe 7 has numbers on their side with 4 remaining fighters. With Naruto taking out 3 universes by himself, it seemed he had all of the momentum at the moment and didn't look like he would be stopping anytime soon. The atmosphere was tense as the remaining fighters from the last 3 universes stared one another down. Nobody was moving and the wind was blowing, clearing out all of the smoke and dust that was floating around. Up in the stands, everyone was tense and anxious at the same time. It's down to the 6th, 7th, and 11th universe now. I wonder which universe will win. Zeno said, yes, I am wondering that too. The other said, this battle will be a sight to behold. Although with so few spectators, the stands look a bit empty. The Grand Priest said, yes, look at all the benches. Both Zenos said at the same time, I believe I can do something about this, the Grand Priest said. He clapped his hands together and then the bench started to shrink. Everyone on the bench was a bit scared because of the sudden movement. After a few seconds, the bench shrunk down to a size big enough to fit all 3 of the remaining universes and angels. Belmont, Champa, and Beerus all gave each other a nasty glare while the Supreme Kais simply looked at each other. I hope this looks better, Your Majesties, the Grand Priest said. Oh yes, I like it. One Zeno said, yes, they aren't sitting so far apart now. The other said, look at us all together. This is downright cozy. Whis said, yes, it's quite a change though, Vados. I'm sure you'll be sitting by yourself pretty soon since you're down to one fighter. It seems you have been getting quite cozy to the 7th universe. Have you already picked a new home? Mixerida said mockingly, well, now I don't know about all of that. After all, our last fighter has already embarrassed your last 3 fighters by himself. I'm sure Naruto will pull this through for us. Once your universe loses, we have plenty of space left for you to join. Vados said, the time clock is almost in its final section, Your Majesties. The winner will be determined pretty soon. The Grand Priest said, the 3 remaining universes should be commended, not only for showing impressive power in their battles, but also for showing ingenuity and the willingness to adapt and do whatever it takes to survive. Anato said, hey, look, they're about to start fighting. Looks like Jiren's stepping up. Goku said, fighting area. Goku was right about them about to start. Jiren began walking forward, willing to take on any challenger who stepped up to him. Vegeta was about to step forward until a hand on his shoulder made him stop. He turned around and was about to unleash on whoever stopped him, but saw it was Gohan who had a certain look in his eye that he hasn't seen since the Cell Games. He stepped back and Gohan walked forward, meeting Jiren in the middle, and they both had a stare down. Well, this will be interesting. It seems Gohan's got his fighting mojo back. Nar thought, stands. Does that wimp really think he stands a chance against Jiren? Belmont asked while laughing. Goku, have you noticed anything different about Gohan? Piccolo asked, yeah, he has that same look in his eye from when he was fighting Cell. Goku said, what does that mean, Goku? Whis asked, it means we're about to see the real Gohan. The Gohan who was willing to fight without holding back. I may be eliminated, but if I had to put my money on anybody to have the best chance for our survival, it's Gohan. Goku said, well, he better not disappoint me. Beerus said, isn't he the one Naruto was interested in Vados? Champa asked, yes, he is. Nar doesn't really take note of fighters, but he took notice of Gohan's ability. Vados asked, alright, everybody, buckle up. This will be one of the most important battles in the history of the cosmos. Roshi said, fighting area. Gohan and Jiren were having a stare down. And after Roshi spoke, that's when Gohan made his move. He powered up to his mystic form and kept raising his power level. It soon reached the level of Goku in his Super Saiyan God form. Then reached up to the point of Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue Kaukan X10 form. Jiren sensing this quickly rose his power level to match Gohan and they both blasted off into the air. Show us the true warrior you were always meant to become, Gohan. Vegeta said up in the air. Gohan and Jiren were trading punches and kicks while also blocking each other's attacks. Jiren was impressed, although he didn't say it. He never expected Gohan to be this good. He decided to question his purpose for fighting. Tell me, young warrior, what drives your quest for strength? Jiren asked. I have a family at home, a wife and daughter that is barely a year old. They are my light and what keeps me motivated. What drives you to grow stronger? Gohan asked, still trading punches with Jiren. I seek to achieve something that is beyond strength. Jiren said, I can respect that. I guess we'll just have to see whose purpose and drive for strength will carry them to victory. And I can tell you now, I don't give up so easily. Gohan said, stance, contestant Gohan versus contestant Jiren. This is an unusual fight I'm sure none of us have seen coming. But if Gohan has stepped up to fight him, then the fate of his universe rests on his hands. Same goes for Jiren. The Grand Priest said, well, I'm impressed. I didn't think Gohan would be this good against Jiren. He's making Jiren use quite the amount of power right now. Beerus said, yes, that is true. However, I'm feeling Gohan's power level increasing as the fight goes on. He's closing in on Goku at his maximum level without Ultra Instinct. Jiren is also sensing this and is currently raising his power level as well. Whis said, fighting area. After a few more punches and kicks traded, Gohan and Jiren broke apart and landed away from each other. Alright, that's good enough for a warm-up. Are you ready for round 2, Jiren? Gohan asked. Before Jiren could speak up, Vegeta came flying by Gohan in his Super Saiyan Blue form. He came in like a raging bull and Jiren was his target. Alright, Jiren, you've had your fun. Now it's time you face me like a man. Vegeta said, Nar, is there a reason why you're trying to sneak up on me? Nar asked, I'm here to eliminate you. Dispo said, you and what army? I've already kicked you, or do you not remember? Nar asked. The results won't be the same as last time. I've been watching you fight. I know all of your patterns. Dispo said, yeah, you and your other buddies you call Pride Troopers did nothing but run away. I'm not worried about you or Topo. I'm interested in Jiren. He's the strongest person in your universe and I'm pretty sure he can't wait to fight me, Nar said. Then you'll have to get through me first. Disso said, that's not a problem with me. Nar said. Disso used his superior speed or what he thought was his superior speed and went for a kick to the back of Naruto's head. Imagine his surprise when the kick went straight through Nar. What the? Disso said, come on, I thought you were going to actually hit me. Nar said Disso took offense to the taunting and sped up his attacks. None of them were connecting and before he threw his last punch, he was kicked from behind through a couple of rocks and slid on the ground. He looked up and saw Nar still sitting there and realized he hadn't moved an inch. Disso stood up, but then he felt blood coming from his face. What the hell is going on? Dispo asked as he wiped the blood off. 3 punches to the face and a simple kick to the back. I can't believe the so-called fastest person in the tournament didn't see it coming. Nar said as he stood up. You didn't hit me in the face. All you did was simply kick me in the back. Disso said, fine, I'll do it again, but this time I'll slow it down for you, Nar said. Naruto used his speed and hit Disso 3 times in the face again, but missed the kick since Disso managed to move out of the way. He knew how Disso used his speed and he had something planned for it. He just wanted Disso to go full out and he knew exactly how to do it. So, I'm guessing since you managed to move out of the way, you were able to tell I really hit you 4 times. Nar said it won't happen again, Disso said. Disso powered up to half strength and used his speed to punch Naruto in the face. Naruto decided to play around and acted like the punch hurt him. Disso, not knowing his plan, quickly hit Naruto with a barrage of kicks and punches while moving extremely fast. He managed to kick Naruto through a large boulder and it broke apart, collapsing on top of Nar. Stance. Nar, why are you letting him beat you up? Vados asked him telepathically. Because I'm waiting for him to go full power. I want to use that against him at full power. I'm fine though, Mom. Thanks for asking. Nar said the last part sarcastically. Don't take that tone with me, young man. I may be in the stands, but after this tournament is over, I can still punish you. Now, stop toying around. These benches aren't exactly comfortable. Vados said, Mom, you're a freaking angel. I've seen you make clothes using your powers. You mean to tell me you can't make yourself a cushion or something to sit on? Nar said I hadn't thought of that. Goodbye, Nar. Vados replied, good boy. What the hell does she think I am? A dog. Nar said, you know I can still hear you, right? Vados said, love you, Mom. Nar replied, love you, too, but that's not going to save you. Vados said, alright, fine. I'll deal with the punishment later. But hey, have you found out why Kale's upset? Nar asked. I'll ask her now. Vados said, hey, Champa, looks like Nar isn't as tough as you claim he is. Belmont said laughing. I'm not worried. Nar knows what he's doing. He did this same tactic to me before. Champa said, wait a minute. Nar being stronger than you is actually true. Kaba asked, yes, it's true. However, I do not know by how much. Champa said, I mean, he has to be way stronger than you if he's a Super Saiyan 3. Caulifla said, not true. The first time he fought me, he beat me without transforming. Champa said, what? How is that possible? His base form must be crazy strong. Then Goku said, no, I was able to easily handle him in his base form. He said he was able to power up to his maximum at that time while not transforming. He has such good control over his ki that it's almost scary the things he can do with it. Champa said, whoa, I'm lucky I didn't have to fight him when he walked up to me. Krillin said, I'd have to agree. With the amount of power you say he could have, I'm surprised he hasn't just eliminated all of the competition himself. Tien said he doesn't like quick, boring battles. He likes to draw them out. Although, he did just eliminate like 3 universes himself. The only person I can see actually making him work for his win is Jiren. Besides, he came in here with a plan. He wanted other universes to show off their strength in hopes that Zeno wouldn't erase them. Sadly, his plan didn't work, so now he has no choice but to eliminate competitors. Disso will be the next to fall by his hands. Boss said, I don't see how Disso will fall by his hands. Vados. Naruto's barely keeping up with him. I know he's your son and all, but don't you think you're overhyping him just a bit? Marita asked. He's your son? Caulifla asked. Not in the traditional way. When he arrived on Earth, I always kept a close eye on him, checking his wounds after training or giving him clothes. When I first saw him, I was just being nice, but over the years, the bond we shared with one another grew to that of a mother and son. Vados explained, oh, so I have a nephew. I can't wait to actually meet him. Whis said, actually, Whis, he doesn't like you. He said, you're weird and thinks you might touch him in his sleep. Vados said, and everybody started laughing. Even the Grand Priest chuckled a bit. What? I most certainly will not. Whis exclaimed. Well, Vados, who does he like out of all of us? Cuss asked. Well, he likes me, of course. He likes you, Cuss, because you're so small and cute. You remind him of somebody really close to him. He likes cognac even though he hasn't met him because according to him your name reminds him of alcohol, which reminds me I have to beat him for that. I told him no drinking, Vados said in an evil tone, making everyone back away from her. Vadosa asked. Yes, she asked sweetly. Is it too late to tell you that he has a stash of alcohol on my planet? Asked Champa. You snitch, you stooged me out, Nar yelled coming out of the rubble. Oh, shut up. I'm not getting in trouble because of you. You know Vaos hates drinking. Champa yelled. I'm going to kick your after this is over. Nar yelled back and then paused after he realized what he said. Vaos, he swore at me. Champa yelled. Are they seriously arguing about this right now? Krillin asked. I know. He's acting more immature than Goku. Tien said. Hey, you baldy and you three-eyed freak. He snitched on me. Nar yelled. Nar. Vados said sweetly. Yes, Mom. Nar said, shrinking away. What did I tell you about swearing and drinking? She asked not to do it. He replied. Clearly, you disobeyed me. Now, after this tournament is over, whether we lose or not, you are going to face severe consequences. Do you understand me? She asked, and he nodded, looking like a sad puppy. Good. Now, for the last person he likes out of all of us. Coincidentally, it's you, Mixerida. Vados said, me. Why? Mixerida asked. He said, you remind him of a character from a cartoon he watches on Earth. Something called Batman claims you remind him of a character named Harley Quinn with your hairstyle. Vados said, she does. See, look, I have a picture of Harley Quinn. Nar said, pulling a picture out of his pocket, throwing it to Boss. I'm not even going to ask why you have this in your pocket. But he does have a point. You do look like her, Makarita, Vados said and passed the picture around. I guess I do look like her. She seems crazy. I don't know if I should be insulted by this or take it as a compliment. Marita said, if you all would please be quiet, we have a tournament to continue. The Grand Priest said, oh, sorry, Father. Vados said. Vados made herself a cushion to sit on and made some food come out of her staff. She leaned back and started eating. Everyone seeing this just looked at her. What? He's rubbed off on me a little bit, she said, shrugging her shoulders. Fighting area. Nar was standing there with tears in his eyes watching Vados eat. That's my emergency food. I can't believe she's eating it. He said, are you really crying over some stupid food? Disso asked with a smirk. That was the wrong thing to say. What did you just say? Nar asked in a deadly voice. I said, stop crying over some stupid food. After I'm done with you, you won't even need food anymore. Disso said, that's what I thought you said. Nar replied. Nar powered up to Super Saiyan. And before Disso could react, Nar already kicked him away, flying through boulders. Nar appeared behind him and kicked him up in the air. He jumped up above Disso and gave him an overhead hammer fist, sending him to the ground. Nar followed this up by sending multiple small energy blasts at Disso's stance. Everyone was shocked at what Naruto just did because he looked like he was just losing the fight. He did all of that because of Disso insulting some of his food. Mixerida said, there's one thing you should know about Saiyans, Makarita. They don't play around when it comes to food. Vados said, eating still, but aren't you eating Naruto's food right now? Cuss said, I am, and I'm not sorry for it. He can cook really well. Besides, he won't do anything to me. I'm one of the exceptions. Vados said, who else is the exception? Cuss asked, the girl he was talking about before he eliminated Universe 2. She's the only other person that I know of who's allowed to eat his food without any problems, Vados said. And Kale unintentionally turned Super Saiyan. Kale, are you alright? Caulifla asked. I'm fine, she said. Are you sure? Kaba asked. Yes. Kale exclaimed. Then can you power down from Super Saiyan? Caulifla asked. Oh, I didn't even notice it. Kale said and powered down. Belmont, I don't hear you over there cheering anymore. What's the matter? Losing hope for your fighter. Champa taunted fighting area. Disso stood up and was badly beaten with his uniform ripped up. He stood there glaring at Nar for making him look like a joke. Nar just stood there with a smile on his face. How dare you? This is the Pride Trooper's uniform and for me to wear it in such a way is disgraceful. Dispo said, I really don't care. I'm sure one of your little trooper pals all lend you an extra one. The uniform is actually ugly. I mean, who the hell picked it to be a full body suit? It clings to your body, leaving nothing to the imagination. And from what I'm seeing, you have nothing to imagine. Are you sure you're not a girl? Nar asked. Up in the stands, Khalifla was laughing her off. Other people wanted to laugh, but they held it in. Do not patronize me. I am one of the Pride Troopers. We defend the world against evil. We are the protectors of our universe. I will not fall to somebody like you. I'm done playing around. This fight ends now, Dispo said and was surrounded by a purple aura. Oh, that seems interesting. I'm guessing this is you at your full power. It's not much of an improvement, Nar said. This is my super maximum light speed mode. Dispo said, that's kind of a long name. You should shorten it a bit. Nar said and powered down from Super Saiyan. What's the matter? Are you quitting already? I haven't even begun to fight you yet. Dispo said, nah, I just want to see what this mode of yours has to offer before I make my move. Nar said. Disso gritted his teeth and just disappeared before everyone's eyes. Next thing everyone knew, Nar was being flung around like a pinball, but they couldn't see Disso hitting him. Nar, although was getting beaten, was doing quite fine. He wasn't taking any damage, which proved his point. Disso has speed, but he doesn't have the power to match it in this form. Disso continued his assault and each time he hit Naro, his grin grew more and more as he pushed him back towards the edge. I think I've seen enough, Naro thought. Disso went for a straight jab, and Nar caught his fist like it was nothing. What? How are you able to catch my fist? Disso asked. Simple. You aren't as strong as you think you are, Nar said and kicked Disso away. Stance. It's impossible to catch Disso in that form. Not even Topo can catch him. And he's training to become the next god of destruction. Belmod said, what about somebody as strong as Jiren or possibly stronger than him? Champa said, I think it's time you tell us exactly how strong Naruto is. Champa, we already know how strong Jiren is. Beerus said, I've already told you. I simply don't know how strong he is. I wasn't lying when I said that. He's simply that strong. I don't even know if Vados can tell you how strong he is and she spends the most time with him. Champa said, well, dear sister, do you know how strong Naruto is? Whis asked, sadly, I do not. The last time I gauged his strength was his full power Super Saiyan 3 form, and it was just barely stronger than Lord Champa, but that was quite some time ago. He's been training in private for almost a year now and forced me to promise I wouldn't spy on him or check on his power level. Vados said, oh, and how exactly did he force you to make that promise? Mixerida said, he said he wouldn't cook for me anymore. I don't know about all of you, but I'd rather make that promise than lose out on his cooking. Vados said, eating an ice cream sundae. His cooking must be really good when you put it like that. Kuss said, Vados, if I may ask a question. Roshi said, of course. Vados said, if you had to guess, who do you really think has a chance at beating Nar? Roshi asked, well, if I'm being honest, adding in how easily Nar grows in strength plus the year of private training and how brutal his training is. I'll have to say either Lord Beerus, and if not him, then only US Angels, the Grand Priest, and King Zeno. Vados said, are you serious? Krillin asked. Yes, I'm very serious. Vados said, what about me? If I was to use Ultra Instinct, do I stand a chance against him? Goku asked, no, you wouldn't stand a chance. He possibly can use Ultra Instinct himself. During a few of our training spars, the same thing happened to him, like with you against Jiren and Kefla. However, unlike you, each time he used it, it became easier for him to access. But he has the same problem as you. He couldn't attack in that form, only dodge. Vados said, you mean to tell me he's already mastered the dodging aspect of Ultra Instinct? Beerus said, I do not know Lord Beerus. As I've said before, he's been training in secret for almost a year. We would have to wait and see what he can do. Vados said, fighting area. Well, I think it's time I made my move now. I hope your speed mode can keep up, Nar said. He closed his eyes and relaxed his body and before everyone knew it, the same heat that came from Goku earlier was now coming from Nar. Nar stood there completely relaxed and when he opened his eyes, they were now silver and he had the same aura around him as Goku did. Nar activated Ultra Instinct. Big deal. I've already seen this technique in action. I can easily keep up with it. Don't forget, I rely on your muscles tensing before a movement, so I'll be able to easily beat you. Now prepare to fall at the hands of the Pride Troopers. Disso said. Nar didn't say anything. He just stood there and waited. Disso being made the first move and went in for a straight punch and Nar dodged it while also punching Disso in the gut. Nar took advantage of this and did a backflip, kicking Disso in the chin and followed it up with a spinning heel kick, sending him flying away. Disso recovered and looked up, but had to move out of the way because Naruto came flying down at him with a punch that contained a lot of power. Nar was quicker, and as soon as Disso moved, Naruto was right behind and kicked him in his back hard, and Disso thought he felt something pop. Nar appeared in front of Disso and placed an open palm on his stomach and blasted him away. Disso went flying back into a boulder, but didn't go through it. That's it. I've had enough, Disso exclaimed. He powered up, and this time his purple aura grew larger. Unknowingly, Naruto powered up as well, causing a tremendous amount of heat to surround the entire area. Unknown to him, the angels and gods were looking at him closely, wondering if he was going to do it. Disso wasted no time charging in at Naruto, who barely had enough time to react. Nar ducked out of the way and then quickly spun around and blocked Disso's punch with one of his own. They both stared at each other for a few seconds before they both vanished. They fought all around the ring, creating shock waves and even got in the way of 17 and 18 verses. Topo. The fight was crazy and everyone had their eyes on it. Well tried to some couldn't see the fight going on because they were moving so fast. After a while, they reappeared and Disso was looking worse for wear. His clothes were torn looking like shorts and he was bleeding from cuts all over his body. What was also surprising is he was no longer surrounded by his purple aura. His super maximum light speeded mode had worn out. Nar powered down from Ultra Instinct and spoke up. Well, that was fun. Unfortunately, it's time for you to be eliminated. Nar said. Before Disso could respond, Naruto powered up to Super Saiyan 2 and kicked him in the gut, sending him flying away. Nar shot multiple energy blasts at Disso, each connected, but they were all weak. Disso stood up and before he could move, he collapsed to the ground. What did you do to me? Disso asked. Those small energy blasts, although they were weak, they each targeted a specific point on your body. Each one hit a small weak point on your body, and the final blow would be when you tried to stand up. I can tell you're in pain because I hit your pressure points. It's over for you, Disso. You weren't that bad actually as a fighter, but you need more than just speed to beat me. Nar said. Nar created a small rainbow orb in his hand and threw it at Disso. Majestic grenade. Nar said the orb exploded right in front of Disso who couldn't move and sent him flying over the edge. Disso was eliminated from the Tournament of Power. Stance. Disso of the 11th universe has been eliminated. The Grand Priest said, Vados, I thought you said he couldn't use Ultra Instinct. Whis said, correction, I said he couldn't fully use Ultra Instinct. Vados said he's close to using it to its fullest potential. Why doesn't he just try to master it to its fullest potential? Beerus asked, because it would harm his body. The first few times he's used it, he came out with severe exhaustion, torn muscles and ligaments, as well as broken bones. The stress it would put on his body is too much to handle right now. Vados said, who do you think he's going after next? Piccolo asked, nobody. He most likely won't fight anybody unless it's Jiren. The only way I can see him fighting again is if he's challenged by somebody. Gohan and Vegeta are busy fighting Jiren at the moment, and 17 and 18 are fighting Topo. Hell, just relax for now and observe the fighting around him. Vados said, I still don't like how I have to put all my faith into him, but I guess I have no choice, right, Kale? Caulifla asked. Huh. Oh, yeah, sure. Complete faith in him to win this for us. Kale said, are you okay, Kale? You seem out of it. Caulifla asked. I'm fine. Kale said, you sure? Caulifla asked. Yes, I'm sure. I'm just focused on the tournament. Kale said. Vados looked at Nar and he nodded in Kale's direction. Vados, getting the hint, simply nodded back to him. Kale, it's me, Vados. Don't freak out or anything. Speak in your mind if you can hear me. Vados said telepathically. Yeah, I can hear you. Is there something you need? Kale asked. Yes, Nar would like to know what's wrong with you. Please do not lie. I am good at telling if you are not. So, tell me what's wrong. He can't really focus if you're angry at something. Vados said, fine. Who is the girl he's talking about? I thought he was single. Kale said, trust me when I say this, Kale. The girl he's talking about is nothing more than a sister-type sibling for him. She's only, I'd say, about 12 to 13 now. She's probably closer to him than I am. He spends as much time with her as possible. Vados said, then why did he make it seem like he loves her or something? He knows I've been hurt before, so why would he say that stuff about her? Kale asked. Because he does love her. There are different types of love out there. Kale. Naruto's love for her is in a sibling type of way. His love for you is a romantic type of way. I know all about your Saiyan ways of love. So, let me ask you something. When you kissed Naruto before we came here, did you feel instant fireworks or did you feel like he was just another guy? Vados asked. I felt fireworks when we kissed and even more the further we went. Kale said and started to blush. Then I'm sure Nar felt the same way. You have to remember until you came back into the picture. The only people Nar had in his life to bring love out of him was me and the little girl he was talking about. Please don't be mad at him. He's not really good with the whole love thing yet. Vados said. Kale didn't respond, but Vados knew she got her point across. Deep down, she wanted Kale and Naruto to work out. Since she was an angel, having a family of her own was out of the question. So, she had to settle on her adopted son, Naruto, and she hoped his soon-to-be wife, Kale. The more she thought about it, the more she realized what this meant for her. Grandbabies, she yelled in her mind. So, Belmont, how's it feel knowing you're down to only 2 fighters now? Champa asked. You shouldn't talk, Champa. After all, you only have 1 fighter left, Belmont retorted. 1 fighter or not, Nurid has proven to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm beginning to wonder if Jiren should have actually fought him earlier. Maybe if they fought Naruto would be tired and would be easy to take out. Mixerida said, I don't think so. Marita, for some reason, I believe Naruto is hiding something. Kus said, yeah, I know what you mean. Roshi said, what do you mean, Master Roshi? Krillin asked. Think about it, Krillin. Naruto's been able to go in and out of all of his transformations, and he doesn't even look tired. He's hiding something, but the question is, what exactly is he hiding? Roshi said, he is hiding something, and not even I know what it is. I can't believe it. I've practically raised him his entire life, and he's keeping a secret from me. Boss said, oh, you mean like how you were his 4 stacks of ribs he cooked and had saved for his lunch? Champa asked. Vados looked at Champa with a shocked expression and then to Nar. When she looked at Nar, the look on his face made her feel bad. He had a look of hurt and betrayal on his face. I'm sorry, Nar, but you cooked them the way I like them. On top of that, you slathered extra barbecue sauce on them, Vados said. And Nar just turned his head and walked away towards the other fights. Fighting area. Nar walked around and looked at the other fights remaining. He briefly stopped by the fight with 17 and 18 versus Tapapo. It wasn't that impressive, but he had to admit that 17 and 18 had tremendous teamwork and they could most likely give most people a tough time. He moved on and stopped to watch the fight between his fellow Saiyans and Jiren. This should be interesting, he thought. Jiren just tossed Vegeta away, but he quickly recovered and charged back at Jiren. Jiren decided to use the same tactic and throw out multiple quick-paced punches that worked on Goku and that worked on Gohan during this 2-in-1 assault. However, he was dealing with Vegeta and he's already seen the attack more than once, so he wouldn't fall for that attack. That's a bad move, Jiren. That's not going to work against Vegeta. He's already seen this attack more than once. Nar thought just like Nar thought the move didn't work. In fact, Vegeta easily saw through it and broke through Jiren's guard, catching him with a stiff punch to the kidney. Jiren along with everyone else in the stands were momentarily stunned that his guard was broken. Jiren looked down at Vegeta, who just looked up at him with a smirk on his face. Gohan, who was standing by watching this, was also impressed. Nar took note of Gohan and noticed he was a bit rougher up, clothes torn, and a few scrapes. I got you now, you son of a, Vegeta thought. Vegeta, after he had broken through Jiren's guard, smirked at him and went on the offensive. Vegeta started attacking Jiren with quick punches, giving him no time to recover. Jiren was hard-pressed and appeared to actually be struggling, but Nar and the Supreme Kai of Universe 11 knew better. Stance. I have to wonder. Whis said, wonder what? Do tell us. Whis Bados said, I wonder if Vegeta could have another motivation for challenging Jiren. Perhaps this is a catalyst for him unlocking Ultra Instinct. Whis said, shocking everyone. That would make sense. The way he was dodging Jiren's attacks, I wonder if he's knocking on the door. Beerus said, if that's your guess, then you both would be dead wrong. Nar said, having heard what they said. Oh, and how would you know? Beerus asked. Because Vegeta lacks the elegance and grace and mindset to use Ultra Instinct. He's more of a power fighter, the type of person that wants to overwhelm his opponent with relentless attacks. In order for him to unlock Ultra Instinct, he would have to go against everything he stands for. I can tell that Vegeta is a prideful man and would rather die than try to be something he isn't. Nar said, then perhaps you can explain how he dodged similar to Goku when he was using Ultra Instinct. Piccolo said, of course I can. Vegeta only dodged those attacks because he's already seen the attack more than once. This has nothing to do with Ultra Instinct. Not everybody can unlock it, let alone master it. If my conversations with Champa are actually true, then only 2 gods can use it. Beerus and Gwyn. I'm sure the angels can use it as well. Me and Goku are the only known mortals who have been able to use it. Although the big difference between me and him is that I don't have to be completely drained of energy in order to use it. I doubt he'll be able to do it again anyway for a long time. Nar said, wow, Whis, look at that. You pride yourself on being the wisest angel and you were shut down by a mortal who hasn't even known about the technique that long. Mixerida said, laughing. Fighting area. Vegeta was continuing his assault on Jiren and managed to kick him away. He teleported away and Jiren thought he was going behind him. So, he threw a back fight hoping to catch Vegeta like he did earlier. Imagine his surprise when he was kicked hard in the gut by Vegeta. You were moving faster and punching stronger against Gohan and now you lower your power when fighting me. I take offense to that and I demand you fight me the same way. Vegeta said, bad move, because as soon as he said that, Jiren punched him in the face. Vegeta managed to correct himself and didn't multiple backflips, getting himself together and fired a Gallic gun at Jiren. Jiren ran forward and slapped away the Gallic gun like it was nothing and punched Vegeta in the face 3 times before uppercutting him into the air. Jiren appeared above Vegeta and punched him back down to the ground. Before Vegeta could recover, Jiren shot him with an energy blast that was on course to eliminate him. Vegeta was struggling with the blast and at the last second he managed to destroy it, resulting in a huge explosion. Vegeta, are you alright? Gohan asked. Stance, what do you have to say about that, Beerus? What about you, Whis? It looks like your squad is no match for Jiren. It's only a matter of time before you're erased. Belmod said, laughing and sticking his tongue out at him. I would not be discouraged so quickly, Lord Beerus. We've known Vegeta for quite some time now, and something like that will only push Vegeta to come back even stronger. Whis said, fighting area. After the explosion, there was a cloud of black smoke surrounding the area. Once the smoke cleared, Vegeta was standing there breathing heavily with his clothes torn up and cuts all over his body. Gohan and Jiren both made it into the area and looked at Vegeta. After all of that, you're not even breathing hard. I can tell that defeating you won't be easy. Vegeta said, you can try all you want, but you'll fail every time. You defeating me is impossible. Jiren said, what the did you just say? Vegeta asked. Niece, Jiren, insulting Vegeta's pride, forces him to unleash new power. We're going to need that if we want to defeat you and Nar. Gohan thought as he took a glance at Nar, who just looked at him and then back to the fight. Your fighting style reeks of arrogance. It infects your techniques and makes them impure. You think you're entitled to greatness and your arrogance will lead to your ultimate downfall in the end. Jiren said, was that supposed to be insulting? You called me arrogant. You're damn right I am. That's pride. Pride in the Saiyan I am. The mighty prince of the ultimate warrior race. Vegeta said as he extended his arms and gathered a lot of energy for his next attack. Impossible to defeat you. Don't make me laugh. I'll never surrender control. That's not the man I am. It goes against everything I believe in. I'd rather die arrogant than live like a fool. You all may claim Goku to be the strongest from our universe, but I'm the one who's going to defeat you, Jiren, and I'll do it my own way. Vegeta said as his power continued to skyrocket past his previous limits. That's awesome, Vegeta. You're powering up way farther than you did before. Gohan said, stance. What the hell is going on? Why is his power continuing to skyrocket like that? Belmod asked. Jiren obviously thought that insulting Vegeta would throw Vegeta off of his game, but all it did was remind Vegeta of his pride and caused him to awaken even more power. Piccolo said, fighting area, you think I'm not a threat to you, so I'll assume that means you won't act like a and try to avoid this blast. Vegeta said, bring it. Jiren said, very well then. It's your funeral. I'll enjoy seeing your face as you watch me win this tournament from the stance. Vegeta said, give it to him. Krillin yelled, hit him with everything you've got. Beerus yelled, final flash. Vegeta yelled. He fired off the attack. And Nar thought it looked exactly like his majestic destroyer cannon. Jiren, seeing the blast coming towards him, had no choice but to raise his arms and guard him from the attack. The attack was so powerful that it carried on and nearly hit the stands. It shook the stands and everyone had to hold on. In the fighting area, Gohan was blown away while Nar just stood there. I'd like to see him survive that. Vegeta thought, breathing heavily. The smoke from the final flash cleared, and Jiren was laying face down on the ground. Everyone seeing this was scared and shocked that Jiren was hurt. Nar knew better, though. He felt Jiren's power rise up just before the attack hit him, and now he was just toying with Vegeta. Seeing this, Vegeta started to chuckle before it turned into a full-blown laugh. Ha serves right. That's what happens when you doubt the greatest warrior in the cosmos. Vegeta said, and before he could continue, Jiren was gone. Vegeta, no. Gohan yelled. Nar looking on saw Jiren move and noticed the red energy attack in his hand aimed at Vegeta at point blank range. I'll have to commend you for harnessing so much power in your last attack. However, it's not enough to defeat me. Jiren said. He unleashed his attack and the energy attack surrounded Vegeta, severely hurting him before exploding. Everyone from Universe 7 was shocked at what just happened and couldn't even speak. Once the smoke cleared, Vegeta fell to his knees before collapsing to his stomach. Eyes rolled to the back of his head. Vegeta was out cold and was barely moving. Well, that was a bit harsh. Nar making his presence known. You finally decided to show up. I guess you're ready to challenge me and lose as well. Jiren said. Nope. I'm just here watching the fight. Although, I should warn you that Gohan over there has a lot more power inside of him than you think. I'd take him seriously if I were you. Nar said. He's no match for me. I've seen his strength. It pales in comparison to my own. Jiren said. Wow, you're an individual. Nar said, walking towards Vegeta. What you call? I call truth. Jiren said. Whatever. Nar said, picking up Vegeta. Hey, what are you doing? Gohan asked. Relax. I'm just moving him out of the way. Unlike Jiren, I can feel your power rising underneath, so that tells me you're about to challenge him again. I wouldn't want you getting your teammate killed during the fight, Nar said as he laid Vegeta down next to a boulder. Yo, Jiren, Gohan exclaimed. Jiren turned to face Gohan and didn't speak. Gohan knew he had his attention, so he powered up to his maximum power and got ready to fight. Jiren took notice of his power and spoke up. It's time for you to be eliminated, Gohan. Jiren said. Gohan only chuckled at that and started walking towards Jiren. He ran and instantly teleported behind Garen. He went for a punch, but it was only a distraction. Jiren, without turning around, shot an energy blast at Gohan, who ducked out of the way. As Gohan dodged the blast, he laid down a thin rope of energy before trying at another angle. Jiren started shooting energy blasts at Gohan in a boring fashion, playing right into Gohan's plan. As Gohan was running around, he placed multiple ropes on energy on the ground. He appeared at Jiren's side and placed another on the ground. He escaped before Jiren could attack him with a point-blank energy blast. After the last rope was set, Gohan started an frontal assault on Jiren, who noticed Gohan's attacks were becoming sharper the more he fought. Realizing this, Jiren upped his guard and power level a bit more as he and Gohan began trading punches again. Stance. I have to say, I'm quite impressed by this Gohan from your universe, Lord Beerus. Mixerida said. He hasn't let me down yet, so that's a plus. Beerus said. I want to know why he keeps running, though. It's like he goes in to attack Jiren, but at the last moment, he runs away. Piccolo said. Does it really matter? I mean, Jiren's not even worried about him. He's clearly just toying with him for now. Belmont said. You may want to rethink that, Lord Belmont. Vados said. Why? Belmont asked. Because if you haven't noticed, every time Jiren's fighting Gohan, he has to keep increasing his power level and making his guard stronger. Mixerida said. You honestly think Gohan will be a threat to Jiren? Don't make me laugh. Belmont said. I wouldn't count Gohan out if I were you. Goku said. Oh, why is that? Is Daddy coming to the aid of his dear son? Belmont teased. Actually, I am. You don't know Gohan like we do. He's always been the strongest fighter amongst us, even as a child. He just never had the will or heart of a fighter like we do. You can ask Frieza himself. He may lie, but he knows it's true as well. Goku said. As much as it pains me to say this, the monkey is right. On planet Namek, back in our universe, I was looking for the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality. Unfortunately, I ran into the friends of the monkey we have here. Now, at one point, Gohan managed to wound me, but it wasn't enough to keep me down. Frieza said. Then I guess you weren't that strong to begin with. Belmont said. I must say my power level at that moment was easily over 1 million. Gohan at that time had to be between the age of 5 and 7. My pride was wounded knowing I was almost killed by a mere child. Do not take the huge gap in their power levels for granted. When dealing with him, that gap can close in a mere instant, turning the scale of the fight in his favor. Frieza said. Wow, I never would have thought to hear Frieza talk so positive about a Saiyan. Krillin said. Do not take me lightly. I still hate all Saiyans. I just hate him the least. Frieza said. All the angels took in Frieza's words and held a silent conversation. They all nodded and turned their attention back to the fight between Gohan and Jiren. Fighting area. Gohan and Jiren's fight continued for some time. And just as Jiren was about to catch Gohan with a straight right, Gohan grabbed his arm and threw him over his shoulder towards the edge of the ring. Unknown to Jiren, Gohan also placed a tiny energy blast on him. Jiren managed to stop at the edge of the ring, and before he could move, the small energy blast Gohan placed on him exploded, destroying the area he was standing, and Jiren began falling out of the ring. Everyone from Universe 11 was shocked that he was falling. Jiren acted quickly and jumped on the biggest pieces of rubble he could see and managed to jump back into the ring. He gave Gohan a glare that was met back with a smirk. Jiren took a step forward, and as soon as he put his foot down, some of the energy ropes Gohan set around the area wrapped around Jiren. What? Jiren said. Nice little trick I came up with while training for this tournament. Not only do these ropes of energy hold you in place, they also drain you of your energy as well and send it to me. Gohan said. That's ingenious. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad to have Gohan fighting by my side right now. Vegeta thought as he struggled to stand up. Sure enough, the energy Jiren was losing was going to Gohan. Gohan looked back at Vegeta and extended his hand to him so all the energy he collected from Jiren would transfer through Gohan into Vegeta. After 30 seconds, the ropes got all the energy they could from Jiren and faded away. Gohan shot a blast at Jiren's face and retreated back to Vegeta, who was still down. You all right, Vegeta? Gohan asked. It'll be fine. Nice plan. Too bad we don't have any more of those ropes to drain more of his energy. Vegeta stated, there are more out there, but they are set to explode when he makes contact with them. Gohan said, and Vegeta nodded. You do know that won't be able to hold him, right? Vegeta asked. Yeah, I know, but it gives us time to recover, Gohan said. Sure enough, the smoke cleared and Jiren was seen standing there breathing a bit heavy. He took a step forward again, and then more ropes tangled him up and just exploded. He had enough of this and decided to just plow through them with his strength, creating another smoke screen. Jiren calmly walked out of the smoke and surrounded by red energy. And before Gohan could react, he sped forward and punched him in the face, sending him flying back. Gohan recovered just in time to trade a few quick punches and kicks with Jiren until he was ultimately kicked back. I guess he's finally taking me seriously. Gohan thought. Jiren rushed forward with another punch, but Gohan jumped out of the way, making Jiren's punch hit a boulder. In the air, Gohan went for a kick to Jiren's head, but Jiren caught the kick and slammed Gohan into the ground. Gohan sat up and Jiren was right in his face with a fight coming straight at him. Gohan managed to get away and put some space between them. Jiren stood back up and increased his power level a lot, signaling that he was through playing games. Stance. Unbelievable. His energy is so intense. Kai said, I can feel Jiren's power surging higher and higher. I haven't seen him this worked up in such a long time. Belmod said, I think it's safe to assume that Jiren understands that he can't take Gohan as a joke anymore if he's releasing this much power. Mixerida said, your assumption is correct. Whis said, will you all shut up? I'm trying to watch the fight. Caulifla said as she was very into the fight they were all watching fighting area. Gohan, seeing what Jiren's power was at, powered up himself and everyone took notice to how it was almost on par with Goku's when he was in Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken X20. Gohan and Jiren charged forward and met in the middle with their fist colliding. They had a brief stare down before they disappeared and began trading punches and kicks. Every time Jiren or Gohan threw a punch or kick, the other would block and retaliate with extreme precision. I can't believe Gohan's grew this much in so little time. I guess now that he's fighting for his family's very survival, he's awakened that warrior instinct that's been trapped down below. Vegeta thought everyone was looking on in amazement at how great he was. The most excited was Universe 7. None of them knew this is how Gohan would be performing in the Tournament of Power. Caulifla was watching on in amazement along with Kale and Kaba. They've never seen a fight like this and were amazed. The only thought they had was when would Jiren finally have their inevitable fight. Gohan went for a roundhouse kick, but Jiren back-flipped away and threw his first forward with an energy attack. Gohan put his hands out forward and redirected the attack into the air. He was not ready for the onslaught of small energy blasts from Jiren's rapidly moving fists. Once the assault died down, Gohan was standing up limp with his arms hanging in front of him. I told you both defeating me was impossible. Although Gohan, despite you not defeating me, you've proven yourself as a worthy opponent. I shall take the memories of this fight between us and cherish them for the rest of my life. Jiren said, walking up to Gohan. Now hold on just one damn second. Don't you sit there and act like this fight is over. We are Saiyans, the elite warrior race. We would rather die than simply give up just because somebody is stronger than us. Vegeta said as he stood up and walked next to Gohan. Jiren stopped walking and stared them both down. Gohan regained his composure. Although it was clear that he took a lot of damage from that last attack. Both Saiyans had a certain look on their face and Universe 7 has a feeling something good was about to happen. Playtime is over. Jiren, Gohan and Vegeta yelled. They began to power up. And everyone from Universe 7, mainly Goku and Piccolo, were keeping an eye on Gohan. As they began to power up, Gohan started to slim down and his hair was becoming even more spiky. I told you when we first started fighting that I fight for my family, my loved ones and everything I care about. I will not let them down again. I made a promise to my wife and little girl that I will return home and I won't break that promise. Gohan said. Gohan let out one final yell, pushing his power past its limits. A bright light came from him and he stood there with power matching that of Goku when he used Ultra Instinct the second time. His hair was more spiky with his lone bang still at the front. His eyes were blue and his aura was blue with static and sparkles around it. The most noticeable feature was he slimmed down like Goku in his Super Saiyan God form. This meant one thing. Gohan has ascended to the next level in his ultimate form. Vegeta on the other hand did not voice his words. He imagined the smiling faces of his wife and his children. The burden of him having so much at stake pushed him past his limits as well. He bulked up in muscle with his hair becoming a darker shade of blue. His eyes became a darker shade of blue as well as his aura which was more fierce and also had little sparkles around it. Now Jiren, you can finally see my all. Vegeta said in a voice with power stance. Wow. Do you feel that power coming from them? Goku asked in excitement. Yes, but it's even greater coming from Gohan. It seems he's tapping into his latent abilities and has once again pushed himself beyond his limits. Piccolo said, this is truly remarkable, isn't it, Lord Beerus? Whis asked, what is going on? Why don't these Saiyans just give up? It's pointless to stand up to Jiren's power. Belmont said, it's just as Vegeta said. A Saiyan would rather die than roll over and give up the fight. I don't think they will be giving any signs of throwing in the towel at all. Piccolo said, yes, and given the power I feel from both of them, Jiren may be in more trouble than you think. Whis said, whoa, that is so freaking cool. Kaba, do you feel that power coming from them? It's amazing. Caulifla exclaimed, yes, I feel it, too. But something is bothering me about it. Kaba said, what's wrong, Kaba? Kale asked. Like Kaba mentioned, the problem isn't with the power coming from them. He has a problem with Nar. Vados stated, why? What's the problem? Caulifla asked. This amazing power coming from both of them hasn't even made him flinch. It has all of the gods on the edge of their seats, and even Jiren made a small but barely noticeable move. I know Naruto's on my team and all, but the fact that he isn't even worried about this frightens me. Kaba said, let's just watch and see. I have a feeling Jiren's going to up his game. Maybe that will draw the attention of Naruto, Champa said as he was eager to see his strongest fighter go all out. Fighting area. Jiren was impressed by the increase in power ease feeling from Gohan and Vegeta. He made an unnoticeable glance in Naruto's direction and saw that he just had his eyes closed. I see you've both improved your power levels, mainly you, Gohan. It still isn't enough to face me yet. Jiren said, after you, King Vegeta. Gohan said, this shocked everyone in Universe 7. The fact that he actually called him King Vegeta made them realize that Vegeta is actually the king right now. Vegeta said nothing and started walking forward and Gohan walked right behind him. A true king leading his knight into battle. Bring it, Jiren said. All of a sudden, Vegeta and Gohan charged forward and began an all-out assault on Jiren, who was having a hard time blocking all of the attacks. Jiren managed to push them back, but before he could recover, they both came in and punched him, sending him flying back through boulders. Jiren jumped up immediately and wiped his mouth. I see you've both sharpened your attacks. Jiren said he couldn't speak again because Gohan suddenly appeared in front of him with his fist embedded in Jiren's gut. Vegeta followed through with a hard right jab and they began attacking again. This time Jiren couldn't even get his guard up and started taking significant damage. He had enough and powered up matching Gohan's strength and blasted them away. Vegeta and Gohan retaliated in midair, throwing their own energy blasts at Jiren, which he punched and caused an explosion. Vegeta and Gohan landed and stared at Jiren, who was covering himself from the explosion. Looks like you need to take us more seriously, Jiren. It wouldn't look good on your record if you lost to some Saiyans who are beneath you. Vegeta said mockingly. Just because you've changed and grew your power a little doesn't mean you can compete with me. The young warrior next to you is more of a threat to me than you'll ever be. He's the strongest your universe has to offer, yet it's still not enough. Jiren said, I can live with him being stronger than me. He's a freak of nature with the greatest potential in the remaining universes. I have somebody to compete with now that I'm Kakarot's equal. Vegeta said, try all you want and you'll still be weak compared to me. My strength has no limits. I'm able to easily counter time. Skip something a warrior like you would struggle with. Jiren said, you say your strength has no limits. Wasn't it you who was almost eliminated by a simple little kick from Nar? Gohan asked. I will deal with him after I get rid of the cannon fodder in front of me. Jiren said. Indeed, we will fight Jiren. However, it looks like you have your hands full right now. I'll be waiting for your challenge. You better come with everything you've got or you're going to regret it. Nar said as he appeared in the middle of them. You might as well stay here, Nar, because after I'm done with Jiren, I'm coming for you. Vegeta said, if you think you can handle me at your current level, you need to evaluate things. I haven't really powered up to my max and in Super Saiyan 2, I'm stronger than you. Maybe even stronger than Gohan, but we'll never know because I doubt you'll last that much longer. Nar said before anybody could reply, a familiar energy was felt throughout the entire arena and stance. This made everyone look in the direction of the other fight between the androids and Toppo. I guess the god in training has decided to make his presence known. Nar said, I thought gods weren't allowed to participate in the tournament. Gohan said, he isn't really a god, just a candidate. He's allowed in the tournament. If he wasn't, then Goku, Vegeta, and myself wouldn't be allowed because we can also use divine energy like gods and angels. Nar said, enough talk. I'll deal with that fake wannabe god of destruction after I'm through with the both of you. Vegeta said. Naruto left the area as Gohan and Vegeta charged at Jiren. Up in the stands, the remaining universes were all on the edge of their seats, waiting to see what will happen next. So guys, what do you think about this Naruto story? Tell me your opinion in the comments. And if you want more Naruto what if stories, make sure to subscribe to Universe of Naruto. Thanks for watching.